Dude, I've been listening to Owl City. I want to do a music video.
Every week you disappoint me.
I want to do
further.
I want to do a music video that's like Meet the Gizbots, and it's like 90s, like, you know, a Beastie Boys.
I'm Gizbot number 3, and I'm here to say I have the gun, so fucking stay away.
It's like an Owl City song where it's like, leave my door open just a crack, boop boop boopy doop doop doop, and shows one of them, and it's like Zibbit the gangster, and it's like,
that's good. You want to do Boys 12?
Yeah, it's Boys 12, exactly. It's like all those, but then they get increasingly like weirder, where it's like, oh, Zebo, the bad boy, Zibbit, the felon.
Yeah, I was gonna say, Boop Bop, the child sex offender.
Exactly.
Like, I don't know if he should be living in the house with us. I don't know the age of some of these Gizbots.
Boys 12, that's American Dad, right?
Oh yeah,
dude. Growing up is realizing that American Dad is vastly better
than Family Guy. Yeah. Oh,
Seth
Seth MacFarlane put his whole McPussy into American Dad, dude. Also, Steve has pipes.
Yeah.
Absolute pipes.
That's great.
I like where you're going with the Gizbot idea. I really do. But instead, I say we go with my idea, which is way better and cooler, which is that we just basically recreate 9, but with the Gizbots.
That's a stellar idea.
I mean, right?
Yeah.
Like, they're all different shapes and sizes, and one's the big one, and one's the sad one, and one's got the sewing needle.
Yeah, and one's the child sex offender.
And one's the child sex offender. They cut him out early. Thank God. Yeah, it was produced by Harvey Weinstein. Though,
yeah.
So that was a weird that they made that choice.
I'm kind of maybe gonna do that. Did I tell you about? I'll show you. Not with the Gizbots because they can't really move. There's a dude I met at Brando's.
Maybe.
Huh?
Power of animation, maybe.
Well, no, but they have to. I know they don't move on their own.
Do a little stop motion.
Edging.
I got 3-4 years to fucking tinker a little thing around for, you know.
There's a guy I met at Brando Sandokan.
Naturally. That
makes these like little wood creature guys with a bell. They're all bell based.
Interesting.
And I was chatting him up, and I was like, what do you want to do with these? And he was like, I want to do stop motion animation. And I was like, Dorg, hit me up.
9 was fully animated, right?
Yeah, that's not stop motion. Here, they're like...
By the way, quick caveat, if you're like, wow, Nick sounds like shit, it's because I'm very sick.
You sound good.
I feel as though I don't. Oh!
What's your lozenge of choice? You a Halls guy?
Right now, I'm sucking on Ricolas, and this is not my lozenge of choice by any means. I'm more of like a... Halls has these honey-filled ones where you suck on it and then you get down to like, they have like medicated honey in the middle that's supposed to like soothe your throat. Those, elite. Back when I was streaming and making content simultaneously, I was sucking down a bag of Halls a week, dude. And it like burnt a hole in my stomach. Like it was bad.
Yeah, it's not good for you.
No.
Not to eat that many. And it sucks because the ones that taste good don't work.
No.
You know, you can't get like the actual cherry ones.
Burn, dude.
Yeah. I was guzzling them on the Anime IRL shoot last week.
Yeah.
Which probably resulted in you getting sick.
Yeah, I think I'm just sick. I don't know. Like, so by the way, guys, me and Danny are in LA. A little fire update. I'm about 5 miles south of the fire. Air quality hasn't been great, if we're being real, and so I'm either sick because I went out. I've been outside a couple of times, you know, not masked up because I don't believe in the fucking DEI woke media trying to tell me that I'm getting thunder cucked by fucking cumulus noculus clouds or whatever.
That's a classic DEI side effect. Making you wear a mask.
Well, listen, if LAFD's fucking chief in command wasn't a DEI hire, maybe the air quality would be better. Dan,
have you seen our governor?
Who's just not here?
Well,
oh no, Gavin Newsom.
Yeah, Gavin Newsom.
Yeah, I thought you were talking about the
look.
Who's the person in charge of LA?
The woman?
Yeah, but she's...
I don't know what her job...
No.
She's a mayor.
Mayor.
Yeah, mayor, yeah.
She left.
She's back.
Yeah.
Governor Newsom, I don't know a damn thing about his policies. I don't know a damn thing about him. I do know. That's a fucking suave guy.
You want to know something real weird about Gavin, the fucking president of California, Newsom?
Yeah.
He's got a podcast called Politicking, and he does it with Marshawn Lynch.
That sounds like a bad idea.
Former Seattle Seahawks running back Marshawn Lynch and Gavin Newsom have a podcast called Politicking where they talk about politics.
Whoa.
Yep.
That sounds hype. They got good voices. Marshawn Lynch is very funny.
Yes, he is.
Gavin Newsom's just got a great voice. He's like a Matthew McConaughey dude. He's walking around with sunglasses on.
Yeah. He's probably who the Democrats are going to run for president in 4 years.
That's what I've been hearing.
Yes.
So hopefully he's cool.
Yeah, he's like kind of like... like big tech. He's like if the left leaning was like big tech coded. So he's not like like he's a centrist in every other country pretty much, but like here he's vastly liberal because he thinks people should breathe.
Right.
And so anyways, outside of politics here, Danny had to go to San Diego for a little bit. That's why we're actually recording a little bit later than we would have liked to. Danny is now back. He's like his area was surrounded by a bunch of fires. They were afraid they weren't gonna be able to get out, so they went down to San Diego for a little bit. And we're chilling. I haven't had to do anything. I haven't lost power. I'm getting lib cucked by the air, but that's about it.
Yeah, we got incredibly lucky, but it was looking like we were getting absolutely surrounded by fires.
You were like, we got to make a tactical retreat.
Yeah.
Because they started closing like exit routes to get out of where you live.
Yeah.
And you're like, there's one way out and I'm taking it.
Yeah, so it's been tough for sure. But this is going to be Cold Open the podcast.
Yeah, but before we go any further there, today I want to talk to you about the sponsor of today's episode, Turtle Beach. Listen, winter's here. The days are getting shorter and colder. But that's nothing to panic over. In fact, me and Danny see it as more of an opportunity than a curse. See, because with those shorter days come longer nights, and with those longer nights comes longer gaming sessions. And with those longer gaming sessions, you're gonna want the world's comfiest pair of headphones. See, Turtle Beach's new Gen 3 Stealth 700 headset picks up so much crystal clear sound, it's basically cheating, and essential for me picking up any and all footsteps in Rainbow Six Siege. Regardless of what's going on around me, if people are using leaf blowers in my backyard, I can still hear a footstep down the hallway, and they're so comfortable I feel like I'm wearing a marshmallow on top of my head. On top of that, the Stealth 700 has the industry's first ever cross-play dual wireless transmitter system. That means you can seamlessly switch between your consoles and PC, all with the click of a button. Or if you're connected to your console, your Stealth 700 can connect to your phone to listen to music or take phone calls. Imagine listening to West Side Gun's new album while you crank 90s in Fortnite. So what are you waiting for? For a limited time only, you can get 10% off your whole Turtle Beach order with the code Otakus at turtlebeach.com. That's code Otakus, Otakus, for 10% off your whole order from turtlebeach.com. Listen, it's a new year. You deserve new gaming gear.
A lot has gone on in Danny's life recently, none of which good.
No one believes in me.
Yeah.
No one has any
TikTok,
faith
not
in
your
me.
father.
No. What do you want to start with? My father or
What
TikTok?
do you want to start with? It's your story.
Let's do the father. My dad texted me yesterday at 4 p.m.
There's never good stories about Danny's fathers on this podcast. It's never, I mean, listen, this is basically Fatherless, the podcast, if we're being real. I don't think either of us ever comes on here and wax poetic about our fathers.
If you remember the last time I brought up my dad, it was when he sent me a screenshot of me and when Danny, I couldn't help but notice it looked like you were trying out a Hitler mustache in one of your videos.
Yes.
Might I suggest these alternative mustaches? I've never done that.
Your father talks to you like a boss talking to an intern. Like, if your father didn't make you, I wouldn't say you two were related. Like, I think we might need to fact check it, honestly.
My dad goes, Danny, your mom told me you may be stepping into a boxing ring against Nick, who trains as a boxer.
Fucking right.
Already false info. You haven't
done it in a decade.
You haven't done it in years.
Yeah.
I know you said that you'll be wearing headgear. What about walking that back and challenging him to a 5K run? To which you said, I have a higher chance of beating you in a boxing match.
You have a much higher chance of beating me in a boxing match than you do in beating me in a 5K. Like, it would not be close.
The way I would rather do a bare knuckle, no headgear boxing match against you than run a single kilometer.
Exactly.
It would be a lot less dangerous and, to the contrary, something that would promote both of your health in the process.
Yes. Because you don't have to train to get in boxing shape or anything, right?
You make your living using your wits and brains. To put that in jeopardy, even with headgear, isn't a wise move. And he blows to your head, and then the dangers of concussions.
And then the entire concussion movie with Will Smith, fucking typography into text.
Yada, yada, yada. You could die, blah, blah, blah. You could promote yourself with such an event while also setting a much better example for your followers. Training as a boxer is one thing. It could be a great workout, yada, yada, yada. You could break your limbs. With all due respect, actually trading blows to the head is one of the dumbest activities anyone can participate in.
Good. What kind of Italian father doesn't like fucking boxing, dog?
Well, it's funny because my dad is on his, My dad arced when I was born,
Yeah.
which is really obnoxious for me.
Mind you, at like 55.
Yeah.
That is infinity years old.
My dad used to do like LSD. He used to be really into boxing.
Yep.
Him and his friends like wrestled a bear once
Dude,
at a circus.
That's sick as hell.
And now my dad's all like, learn from my mistakes,
Yep.
blah, blah, blah. And then he goes, at the end of the text, he goes, you could come up with something silly or interesting that isn't a threat to your health or well-being. A hot dog eating contest. A swimming race.
I would recommend
hold
you're
on.
in more danger in a hot dog eating contest than in a recreational boxing match. Like, Papa, I ate 60 hot dogs. My intestinal lining burst.
I'll die sooner being Joey Chestnut than I will
just
Mayweather.
shoving nitrates down your gullet.
Like, a swimming race. Doing impressions. Who does the best stand-up?
Hey, sorry, sold out crowd of MSG. We were gonna box, but instead, have you heard of my Italian? It's like, what the fuck is going on here?
I'd argue doing an impressions off is more harmful to my well-being.
100%. Like, ooh, didn't like that one. What about my Obama?
Yeah, what about my Harriet Tubman?
Every
No?
black
All right,
person
that
in the
one's-
crowd is like, all right, no, we are gonna fight him. Like, yeah, fuck it.
Tubman's a little dicey.
Yeah.
Rosa Parks, then.
No.
All I have.
Nah, all six.
Yeah, all I have are influential black women of history.
And then you responded.
And then I was like, I appreciate your concern, but I promise I'll be fine. It's to knockdowns, not knockout. Plus, Nick isn't going to concuss me. He's not going to go all out. Nobody wants anyone to get seriously hurt, which is why we're doing headgear and stuff.
Yeah.
And then my dad doubles down and goes, this guy trains as a boxer. You don't. Neither do you, Nick.
Yeah, nope, simply do not. I'm running nowadays.
Not that I would condone it, even if you did. What do you even know about boxing? If he didn't take it easy on you, he would take you out in probably 30 seconds.
Yeah, of course.
If Nick has no fans in his boxing career, my father is dead.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, your dad is so proud of my fucking 11-5 amateur record. Like,
The way my dad is going to bet on you, I hope he doesn't hold any animus or jealousy towards you because he could choose to punish you physically.
I love the idea that I'm just like, like one, that this wasn't your idea.
Yeah.
2, that I hadn't tried to talk you out of it more times than your father. And 3, that like from the background, I was like, thank God I finally get to beat the funny out of Danny.
You're just gonna like Richard's trying to pull you off. You throw him away.
Get
You
off.
keep going.
I haven't been his ear off yet.
Yeah, like, and then he goes, actually, I would lose respect for Nick if he stepped into the ring with a total novice.
Dope. I didn't know I had respect from your father to begin with.
I know. Anyway, so that's that.
Yep. By the way, while I was I gave all these messages over to Dorothy so she could read them and also laugh along with me. And she was like, "You are going to go easy on him, right?" And I was like, I maybe. Like if Danny's fucking limping in there like it's Rocky 1 and I'm just like power punching him, like yeah, I'll probably slow down a little bit, but like.
And then I yelled at my mom because I texted her. I was like, "Why did you tell
Don't
Dad?"
fucking snitch.
I was like, "Why did you tell Dad I'm boxing Nick?"
Yep.
And then now, as she's hearing this bit, 10 minutes ago, she texted me, "I love you so much, Daniel. So proud of you always."
And that's why we're a big mom podcast.
It's her fault.
Yep.
So now I'm in trouble for this. I love
Karen,
that. I
you
love,
divorced the man. Why are you still talking to him? Come on.
Here's the protection I have in the boxing ring.
Yep.
The headgear. Obviously, it's not like perfect.
The crowd booing once Danny's like fucking bleeding out of his mouth and he's getting up. They're like, please stay down, Danny's like, no, I got it. I'm gonna get him in the next round of debate. Trust.
That's what I'm saying. I have the headgear. I have my family and your family in all of our comments looking at you and being like, don't be a dick.
I love that I'm like some fucking bear that needs to be caged in the situation. Like I'm not like just 30 pounds heavier than you and boxed 10 years ago.
I love how it's like, you're going to get one hit on me and Richard's like, put him down and just snipers take you out.
Yeah, I'm getting fucking like, I know, you know what's going to happen? They're going to rise me out like it's Gladiator 1 and I'm like holding a stomach wound. You're going to like dropping a knife. You're like, all right, it's even now, motherfucker.
God, yeah. I love how everyone's like rooting for me to win and rooting for you to take a dive because they don't think I'll win.
Third round, you're just gonna be like, I ain't hear no bell, and you're gonna hit me with like the most like exhausted punch. I'm like,
just go flying over the ropes.
There's like a rope connected to my waist, and they just fucking yank me out.
Yeah,
that's gonna be great. It's gonna be a good time for all.
I'm so excited for like my fantasy. The way this goes down is I go out, I do a 30 minutes, 40 minutes top WWE entrance.
Yeah.
I got an 80-pound coat.
Yeah.
I take it off. I've gained no weight.
Yeah.
And
you're like Hulk Hogan trying to rip off his Real American Beer t-shirt. Yeah.
It's like I'm like 3 loops into my entrance song when I turn around and then I wake up in the hospital.
You know, my dream scenario is exactly all that. You're in a little Tykes like truck rolling out. It's like got huge rims. It's like bouncing and shit. And then while you're like super stoked. You try to jump over the ropes into the ring, catch your ankle, knock yourself out cold on the mat.
Just my spine snaps. I'm paralyzed for
and
life.
everybody starts booing me for some reason. Like, why'd you let him do it, Nick?
It's like SpongeBob walking in the salty spittoon and slipping on the ice.
Exactly that. Oh,
anyway,
fuck.
so then the other thing that happened to me.
Yeah.
I made a TikTok about this, but I was so TikTok is like dying.
No.
You don't think so?
Getting banned on the 19th.
Well, yeah, it's getting banned on the 19th.
Still on your phone. Still on everybody's phone.
It'll still be on your phone. But so I wanted to like download some of my old videos to like re-upload on YouTube and Instagram.
Yeah.
And so I type in Motta 3, and I was going to type in The Promised Neverland to get my like videos of that. Have you ever seen The Promised Neverland?
Yes, I have. I've seen season 1 and season 2.
Don't watch season 2.
It's bad.
Yeah, it's bad.
That's what I've heard.
But so I was looking at my Promised Neverland videos, type in Motta 3, first thing that comes up.
Controversy.
Motta 3 controversy.
Yeah, what's that about?
Well then, third thing that comes up, Motta 3 is annoying. So
we knew that. We knew the controversy.
Yeah.
That's surprising. People finding you grating. That's not news.
No, my dad.
Yeah.
But
small, weak, needs to be protected.
So I look up Motta 3 controversy to see what it is, and the first thing that shows up is like an AI generated, like it says search highlights with a little TikTok check mark next to it. And it says it's a huge page
Like
of
fucking
text.
200-300 words. Like fucking like 5 paragraphs of text.
Yeah, it's an essay, and the gist is, I'll read the first paragraph and the last, and it goes, Motta 3, also known as Daniel Motta, is a popular TikTok content creator known for his comedy and lip sync style videos. Just not true.
When have you ever lip synced anything?
Just not true. Yeah. Known for his dancing and racial slurs.
Yeah. Non-conventional use of shoe shine.
The shoe shine dig is crazy.
Yeah.
In recent times, Motta 3 has been involved in a controversy that had sparked discussion and debate among his followers and the TikTok community. The controversy began when Motta 3 posted a video that was perceived as offensive and insensitive by viewers. It never tells me what video
Doesn't tell you what video it is. Doesn't tell you what people got upset about, why people were upset about it. Nothing. Just there was a controversy, and then
it goes on to explain it led to backlash. Many people expressed disappointment and anger, stating that the joke was in poor taste and showed a lack of empathy and understanding. In response to the controversy, Motta 3 issued an apology, stating that he did not intend to offend anyone. He also deleted the video, which is fucked of them to be like, can't find it. Yeah, like, can't find it, so prove he didn't do it.
Yeah.
I deleted the video. However, the apology was met with mixed reactions, with some people accepting it and others feeling it was not sincere enough.
Yeah.
This is crazy.
It literally, but also the funniest part about it is it's just describing online controversy.
Yeah.
It's you posted something, you like people got upset, you apologized, some people accepted it, some people didn't, and then the last message is like, oh, and this should be an example of the power of social media and how like you have to like watch what you say. They basically just used you as a poster child to be like, hey, look at fucking watch what you do on the internet, but it's never applied to you.
Yeah, it goes, in conclusion, the Motta 3 controversy that we all know and love is a reminder that social media can be a powerful tool for spreading messages and influencing people, but it also comes with a responsibility to use that power wisely and with empathy.
Yep.
This is slander.
This
is literal slander.
If you typed in NC Hammer 23 controversy, that doesn't pop up. It could though.
Yeah.
It fucking could though. Like that's the crazy shit.
It's crazy that I'm being used as a social pariah of TikTok by TikTok.
Yep.
So that was wild. Everyone's out to get me. On top of that, our two most recent TikToks for Otakus Anonymous is me railing into Sonic 3 and then me railing into Daima. No one likes either of those videos.
Fucking people are people upset about Daima?
Mm-hmm.
People are upset about Daima talk?
People were commenting, and I'm not going to talk about Daima a lot because I don't want the smoke, but people were like, No,
one of our ones was talking about how good Creature Commandos is.
Well, before today.
You can tell they only care about fight scenes and not the actual anime. The reason I'm getting all of these bad comments at the top is because you've responded to every single one of them.
I got bitter.
Oh, never mind. Oh, look, Danny's wrong again. 3 out of 10 rage bait. Never mind.
A lot of them are like, remember, this guy hates Sonic and likes Has-Been Hotel. Just crazy to me for people to be like, this guy's
Has-Been Hotel is good content.
It's good content.
It's great content.
Crazy for people to be like, Danny hates Sonic 3. He has bad opinions.
Yeah.
Just in terms of like film critique, Sonic 3 is where I gotta be at.
Exactly. That's the height of cinema. Sonic 3 brought Jim Carrey back to content, baby.
I saw one comment I almost flipped out on where they're like, Has-Been Hotel is just cringe humor. Daima is full of shocking twists and like interesting lore.
What,
and I'm like,
them retconning how fucking glins are made?
I know that's the thing. It's all retcons.
Yeah.
And people are like, this is engaging lore. And like, and I don't care if people like Daima. That's fine.
Yeah.
What really gooses my gizzard is when we are like, yeah, I didn't like it. It wasn't that good. And people like, I don't know. It's such a weird, like, I don't know. The internet's become so attacky.
Yeah.
Where it's not like, oh, I like it. No one's like, I like it because of this. Except that guy, I guess, who I'm railing into, who's like, I like it for the twists and turns, but I don't know what twists means.
What twists? Oh, they found fucking recovery bugs. By the way, there's sensu beans in every realm.
But like, my issue is that comments nowadays are more like, it's like, oh, you're wrong, dumb take, you're an idiot.
Yeah.
Instead of, oh, sucks you don't like that, here's what I like about it. You know what I mean?
Actually, I saw Timothy Chalamet do an interview recently where he talked about it, and he's like, content has become as much about the circus as it is about the audience. So the second that you see a video, one of the first things that you do, you open the comments to see on the video, you're like, oh, how do other people feel about this kind of thing? And so because of that, I feel like it's polarized a lot of people in directions of like, oh, like, how dare you talk about like this, that, like that kind of thing. Daima's interesting to me because like, I also don't enjoy it at all. But like, I like one of the comments on that was like, he's disrespecting Akira Toriyama's final gift to his fans. What? Hey, Akira, well, you know what would have been a better gift to his fans, a better final gift? Finish Super. Like what? Oh, cool. Because it was the last thing Akira Toriyama did, I have to be like, oh, this is the best thing ever created.
I know.
I'll tell you the bad parts of Dragon Ball Z. His best thing.
Yeah, I know. And there's also not, I don't know. I don't feel any of Akira's charm from it. People are like, it's clear these guys haven't watched Dragon Ball. Anyone who says that, I don't think watched Dragon Ball.
First off, you can say that about me. I'm not a Dragon Ball fan.
You haven't seen it?
Yeah. You can't say it about Danny. Danny's a massive Dragon Ball fan.
OG Dragon Ball has so much more charm and cleverness.
Yeah.
And better pacing, the manga, than Daima does. And it's like anyone who's like, this is clearly like a successor to original Dragon Ball. It's as much of a successor to original Dragon Ball as GT was, in my opinion.
Also, original Dragon Ball is a fucking snore. It's a goddamn snore.
You got to change your expectations to it.
Everybody's like, oh, go back and watch the OG. Go back and watch the 1984 Dragon Ball. You won't get past 12 episodes. I guarantee you.
It's definitely harder to swallow. There's like, I keep seeing clips of it, and it's just like, I don't know, the pacing's better because it's slower.
It's a more authentic story, for sure.
Like Piccolo regrowing his arm has so much build up and intensity to it. Goku and Krillin racing and then Master Roshi cooking them is really fun. There's a lot of like, I just feel the passion in OG Dragon Ball, and that's being a Dragon Ball fan later in life. Like, I watched Z growing up. I watched OG Dragon Ball when I was like 22.
Oh, really? I watched them in order, and I was like, oh my god, when the fuck am I gonna finish this, dude? I was like, I want to get the Dragon, because there was this girl, this really hot girl that I had a crush on. She was a huge Dragon Ball Z fan, and I was like, I gotta know, but I gotta watch the OG first. And I was like 15, I was like, oh my god, it's the worst thing I've ever watched. And this is my thing. This is the thing that exists not only in anime, but also in like, also just like in the general world, in a sense where like things from an older time will always like be intrinsically better because of the time that they were created. We need to acknowledge the fact that anime has gotten better. Over the lifespan of anime, it's gotten inherently better. Say what you will about like the creation of the ecchi genre and like the over-sexualization. Like absolutely, is there less sexualization of minor characters, like family characters, those kinds of things in earlier anime? Absolutely. Yeah. But like anime as a whole has gotten better from both a pacing perspective, animation perspective, storytelling perspective. Like the way that we're giving stories to voices and subgenres of people that wouldn't even thought of getting those stories fucking 2, 3, 4 decades ago with Dragon Ball, like stuff has gotten better. So I feel like a lot of people look at OG Dragon Ball like through these rose-colored glasses where they're like, oh, like it was a simpler time, it was a greater time, it was the 80s. Like, and I was like, it was fine. It was so fun.
I mean, there's just more of it now.
Yeah.
Which is also like, there's more and of higher quality, and that's not just talking animation.
Yeah.
Although I'm starting to have a crisis of how hard animation carries after Blue Lock, after Sakamoto days, which we'll talk about.
Yeah.
Because I can't tell.
Yeah.
I can't tell anymore.
I'm kind of two minds about it because I'm also kind of going through this recently where like all anime for a long time kind of looked not the same. There was different art styles, but like from like I'd say 2008 to 2015-ish, there was no like it was like, oh my god, Fate looks crazy. Yeah. It was like, oh my god, Fate is the gold standard, but then everything else kind of looked the same. Everything else, and once again, this could be me looking back at these anime, like A, I haven't seen them in a long time, B, rose-colored glasses. But looking back at those anime from that era, I was like, oh, there was like a standard to animation, and like rarely did we dip below it. But also I may not have been as discerning or like wanting for high level of animation because that standard hadn't been set with things like JJK Season 2, with Demon Slayer, with fucking, the final episode of Daima, shit like that.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I want to agree. I watched less anime back in the day than I do now.
Same.
But so it's like, when I think of like Soul Eater's on par with Naruto, which is on par with Madoka Magica, which is on par with
SAO,
with Code Geass, like
a fucking irregular magic school, like all of those,
So like, I'd have to watch them again. Literally every 2 weeks, I'm like, I want to rewatch Naruto because I keep thinking about Naruto and like for reasons that but like,
is it me or is it fucking our group page?
It's the musical.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah, that as well.
But it's just like, I don't know. The more I think about Naruto, because I keep coming up with this, like people keep asking me, obviously, like, what's your favorite show? And I keep saying Madoka Magica and Beastars, kind of.
Yeah.
But like, Naruto's so fucking good. It's just so good.
Like the Land of Waves arc is, everyone's like, oh, the big 3 anime dropped today, like which would actually like make it, like which would actually like get a long run? And the only answer is Naruto.
I think so too.
Bleach's first 12 episodes aren't bad. It goes, first 12 episodes goes Naruto, Bleach, One Piece.
I'll really be able to answer this when the One Piece comes out.
Yeah.
Because then, even though obviously it'll do well, but like, that will be a great example of like, okay, it's coming out now. This is what it would look like. With everything else, we can only speculate. Yeah. Like Naruto has a slow beginning, but we could be like, oh, well, they'd condense it. It'd be fun. Like, but we don't know how, like, the One Piece will give us like a literal thing to look at.
The thing is though, with the beginning, with the first, like you can see the pacing on an arc by arc basis for One Piece, and the best pacing is that first. I think it's like whatever it is,
Logetown
or something like that. It's like 2.5 chapters per episode. So like the first couple of episodes of One Piece will only look better. They won't be better paced, most likely.
I guess so. Naruto's pacing isn't. I don't know how many episodes like. I remember the plot beats. I don't know how drawn out they are, but the pacing's not bad because you get like the bell test, you get fucking the little written exam is really fun. When's Zabuza? That's before all that.
He gets introduced like in episode 9.
Zabuza's cool.
Yeah.
Holding the kunai in his mouth.
Yep.
Naruto pulls the thing out of his hand.
Yeah, that's episode like 8. Like that's like episode 7 or something. Like Land of Waves arc is like pretty immediate. Yeah. Actually, the written exam thing you're talking about isn't until the Chunin exam. That's like episode 30.
Man, I don't know if Naruto gets when's Orochimaru show up and gets his arms taken?
Like 50s?
God.
Yeah.
Because I don't know. I really don't think Naruto kicks into gear until the
Zabuza and
Chunin
Haku,
exams.
that battle kicks into gear like episode 13, 14.
That's a good battle.
Yeah.
That's really good. I don't know if that's like, if that would propel Naruto to like Jujutsu Kaisen Chainsaw Man levels.
It would, for sure.
If it came out just today, you know?
The way I think about it is like Haku and Zabuza, when Naruto came out, is the equivalent of Dandadan's 7th episode. So like it's like, oh, Zabuza like crying over Haku's death, like Naruto teaching like Zabuza like the lesson of like Haku cared about you, why didn't you care about him kind of thing. Like that would be that moment, like that. It's a hook. It's Naruto's hook. It's why it was propelled into the future. It's one of Kishimoto's greatest, like it's one of his greatest writing feats, and what Naruto is built on at its core. And so that is absolutely, I think, why it would like hook into audiences really well. For Bleach, it's kind of different, right? Because it's like the first real story beat is kind of like Rukia gets. There's no like emotional payoff until the end of the Soul Society arc. Where, like Rukia gets kidnapped, and now like Ichigo has to go save her. So the emotional payoff is like 30, 40 episodes in.
I'm reading Bleach right now.
Yeah. The manga's awesome.
It is pretty awesome. I like the fights so far are pretty like, here are my issues with Bleach so far. Ichigo's very Mary Sue.
Yep.
Like,
Ichigo's the least compelling out of all three of the big three's MCs.
I like him as a guy.
I like him as a guy as well.
I like that.
all of them as
I like
guys.
that he's older than the other MCs, and he's just like,
And
like,
he looks it too.
Yeah, he looks it. The comedy's pretty funny.
Man, is Bleach the funniest out of the big three? I would say
Naruto's
so.
not that funny.
Naruto's not that funny. It's funny in a Japanese way.
One Piece is pretty funny in the manga. I don't know how it translates to the anime. There's like,
It's a toss up between Bleach and One Piece for humor.
I'll always giggle at a broken Usopp nose, you know?
Yeah.
But
I'm just
like,
getting like, just like electrocuted to death.
Yeah.
I'm like, ha, get him.
but like, yeah, Bleach is really funny in a more like modernized way.
Yeah.
It's from like 2001, but like, you know, it's more like teens with cell phone humor. Rukia's really funny. I like her.
Ironically, I think Tite Kubo, out of Kishimoto, Oda, and him, is the most talented mangaka.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah.
How?
I think Bleach as a manga is better than One Piece and Naruto.
Can we get that as a TikTok? It's all me hating Sonic. I swear to God, if our Daima rant from today, I came on the stupid show being like, I'm not going to talk about Daima today.
I sent you
I'm just going to bring it up.
$1,000 4 days ago, okay? I pay you to be here.
I know I get paid to be. That's also just so people know, we don't get paid $8,000 an episode.
No, it was like 3 months
Nick.
pay.
I have Nick
Yeah.
wait months before giving me a lump sum, so it feels better to get paid. Fucking. I was like, I'm not talking about Daima. I'm gonna get railed into again. Then you got me talking about Daima.
I got clickbait. Baby.
Now here you are.
The editors don't listen to this. they're clicking through. They just type in when they download the episode to say D Motta 3 controversy. Boom, clip. Got 'em.
Take it out. That's so interesting. But yeah, I
think Bleach is the worst anime.
I don't think
of the big three, but it's got the best manga.
Bleach has such a slow start because it's just him doing like Monster of the Week stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think
The whole
Naruto.
Hollow arc that leads up to Rukia getting kidnapped. Like I said, this is why I said like if Bleach started today, it wouldn't do well. Like Naruto has the best beginning. I'd say Bleach has the second best. One Piece has the worst.
I think One Piece has a better one because it's so weird.
It doesn't get good until Arlong Park. Fucking Usopp's backstory
Not true.
is awful.
Not true.
It's so boring.
Usopp's is boring.
Yep.
Sanji's is great.
Okay, Baratie, fair.
Sanji's is really good. I like it more than Arlong Park.
Really?
Yeah, because it's some cool, like, real-ass pirate shit. Arlong Park is, like, some Yakuza stuff.
Yes.
Sanji Baratie has the bit where he, like, punches through the spikes.
Yeah, that's
and
fair.
I love Zeph breaking off his leg and eating it.
Yep.
And I love, like... Sanji has this great panel. I bring it up all the time. I gotta find it again. But it's got that great panel where he's smoking and he's like, thanks for coming back, so and such. Never let me see you again. That's cool. Yeah. I love Zoro crying.
Oh, yeah, like his childhood friend who ended up bringing the fucking armor guy. Yeah, I remember that.
Armor
Sanji's the reason.
Oh, yes,
the person who says
Sanji.
that too. Yeah.
Yeah, the Sanji bit. Zoro has that great bit after Mihawk beats him where he's like, says something like, Luffy, do you care if I win or lose or something? And then he cries and he's like, then I'll win for you.
He's like, this is the last time I'll ever lose. And then he's like, oh, the shame of a warrior's scars on their back.
Yeah.
So he gets cut down the middle. Yeah.
Dude, Baratier.
But that's like 30 episodes in.
Yeah, but I'm just sick of people being like, One Piece doesn't get good until Alabasta. One Piece is so
crazy.
good in Arlong. Baratier.
Baratier and Nami's backstory, Arlong Park, are very, very good. Now, Whiskey Peak, terrible.
Whiskey Peak's bad.
Yeah.
The misnumber people.
Yeah.
All bad.
It introduces Robin and Bon Clay, but that's about it.
Yeah, the Giants. There's some bad stuff.
The
there's
first
some
time they
boring
interact
shit.
with it, like meeting Dougie or Broggy or whatever their names are, Doggy and Broggy or whatever their names are, is important only because it just now paid off in the manga.
I don't care.
Yeah, like it is like that is only.
Yeah.
It's not good, but it's important 1,000 chapters later.
But I think One Piece has a better chance if it came out today and it wasn't popular. It could get popular more than Bleach because the world's so weird that's at least engaging about it.
Yeah.
And it's a turnoff for some people.
I don't know though, because like here's the thing: the weirdest anime we've gotten in years is Sabuki Bisco, right?
No.
Yeah,
Dandadan.
Dandadan is not nearly as weird as Sabuki Bisco.
It's just crabs. It's just Trigun with crabs.
That is a weirdly succinct analysis.
It is.
That it's Trigun adjacent. It's Trigun with like a biohazardous weapon.
Beastars is weirder.
That's fair. I forgot about the scrunching and punching. I forgot a wolf fucks a bunny. Yeah, there's that. There is that. There's a lot of weird anime though, but like weird anime don't always like catch on.
Yeah.
My dear friend Nokotan. Like, I mean, actually did pretty well considering what it was, but like I guess like weirdness factor, like people are looking for originality.
Sabuki Bisco is not a shonen also. Like, One Piece has that like shonen charm to it. I feel like we don't get a lot of shonen anymore in the terms of like.
What do you mean?
Like
pure shonen?
Yeah, like a Naruto, My Hero, like Black Clover. I'm looking for a tournament arc. Wistoria was like the most recent I could think of.
Wistoria is a shonen, Windbreaker, also a shonen, but it's like a delinquent anime, so like shonen.
It's all seinen lately.
Well, that's the thing is like I feel it's like one, the anime audience has grown. Like it used to be like anime in the early 2000s, the big three and all that was specifically correlated. Like this is when people are like, oh, like all of the MCs are young because the age demographic is young people, right? But at the same time, like as time has gone on, like appreciators of anime have propped up. Like you can now love anime as an adult, and so like more adult stories have had to come into fruition from like a marketing perspective, from a money perspective, that kind of thing. And so like we've started to get like like Vinland Saga, Berserk, all these like more adult stories have caught fire. Monster, like fucking like all these adult.
I mean,
stories.
Chainsaw Man, JJK, those are all like older. I mean, those are shonen, but they're way gorier.
They're shonen plus,
and they're older.
I think Attack on Titan is what did that though.
Yeah, you're right. It is.
I think Attack on Titan is like what set the standard. Like it was like that first shonen to be like, hey, we're gonna make a dark world, and you're gonna like it for like the characters, the political scheming, all that kind of thing. Honestly, I don't even know if I would give the full credit to Attack on Titan because Attack on Titan is so heavily influenced by the Gundam series.
Yeah.
Like it is. I mean, like everyone hates it when you say it, but they're flash mechs. It's heavily political. Like there's a lot of world building, that kind of thing. So like Attack on Titan is influenced by the Gundam series, and then but Attack on Titan obviously makes it darker. And like the Gundam series is loosely, I mean, that's more like Neon. I'd say it's more inspired by Neon Genesis Evangelion. Like I bet you, I'm forgetting the mangaka's name of fucking AOT.
Shinji.
Nope, it's not Shinji. But anyways, that was a Neon Genesis. But yeah, I bet you who's heavily inspired by NGE.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Probably. I mean, yeah, you're correct in that it is mech anime adjacent. All mech anime are like political.
Yeah.
But, like they all are like Neon Genesis, like, or not Neon Genesis. What's the other one? Code Geass, like adjacent.
Anytime you introduce a mech, it's gonna be fucking political. I don't know why. Sometimes I just want a mech anime where it's like they just do shonen shit, right?
Well, you know what the problem is? You can't have a mech without a government funding it.
Yeah,
like
somebody's
that's
gonna
the
be
thing.
fucking building these things.
Yeah, exactly. You can't just have like real steel.
Gurren Lagann.
Yeah, that's true.
Never mind.
That's
You
it.
can get mech and just shonen. Yes.
Real steel is like the closest, where it's just like your average Joe building a mech like it's a car.
God, that was a great movie. God, that was a great movie.
Dude, they should do that. Yeah, treat mechs like cars, because people build cars.
100%.
That's how you take the government away.
Yeah. Oh, like an anti-government anime where like the society like builds their mechs and battles against it. That'd be sick.
That'd be cool.
Government's got their own like Gundam ass mechs, and like the fucking suppressed communities are like building their like clickety clankety like rusty mechs.
That'd be cool as a revolution, because anytime someone brings up the Second Amendment, which they do often because I live in Nebraska.
Yes.
And
like corn guns, and you're like, I'll fucking sprinkle some Jesus in there, and I'm happy.
Anytime someone brings up the Second Amendment, I'm like, wait, that's the gun one, right?
What? Yes.
Okay.
No.
Third? I think it's second.
Second Amendment is that's freedom of speech.
Oh my God.
Is it?
No, First Amendment's freedom of speech.
Oh, you're right.
You think
it
goes
is.
guns, then speech?
The way that this country's going, who knows?
Anytime someone brings it up, I'm like, because the point of it is so that the average person, like the citizen, could arm themselves against a tyrannous government.
Yes.
Or a tyrannical government. So if the government becomes tyrannical...
A Tyrannosaurus Rex government.
Yeah. So they could defend themselves against dinosaurs.
Yes.
If the government becomes a dinosaur, the average villager can stand up to them and defend themselves against injustice.
Yes.
We can't do that.
No, they have drones.
They have drones.
They have battleships.
One tank in New York City.
Yeah, no.
Levels New York City.
Yeah, we have like, I have this Glock 19 and ting, ting, ting. Okay, cool. I'm like Tom Hanks in fucking Saving Private Ryan. I'm just shooting at the gas tank.
Yeah, it's just, we just can't.
No.
So you know what a cool way to do, like...
We couldn't defend ourselves against the police force.
No.
They have tanks.
They have armor.
Yep. They have helicopters.
That's what I hate, dude. Anytime I see like quote unquote anti-riot measures happening and like some cop is in like a full suit of armor, just like hosing someone directly in the mouth, like abusing his power.
I'm like, buddy, I got a can of Campbell's.
Yeah.
That's it. Like, what are you afraid of?
Take off the armor, you fucking coward.
Yeah,
like,
come on.
If you're gonna commit atrocities, do it exposed.
Maybe in the streets.
Yeah. But anyway, fucking, that'd be smart. It'd be cool if you're doing an uprising story. Because the people can't take on the government.
Yeah.
If the people are secretly building mechs and the government didn't have mechs, they were just like, we don't need them. We never thought to build them.
Oh, that'd be cool.
And then mechs just show up, but it's on the side of the people.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's fucking sick.
That's
Real Steel 2, fucking January 6th edition.
Yeah, real iron.
Yeah, that's fucking... write it. We're starting writing it now. Anyways, anime's good again.
Yeah, it is.
Anime's good again. We're back.
Finally. Blue Lock set the precedent.
That's what every... Before I move any further, Blue Lock's, like, their ranking on my anime list was at like a 6 all season. They dropped the last episode. It's now up to a 7.5. So Bandai's going to do it again.
Shut up.
They're going to do it again. It's going to happen forever. Bandai, congratulations. Everybody's encouraged Bandai.
I hate that Blue Lock sets the tone of an anime season, where anime was bad all season except Dandadan when Blue Lock was bad, and then Blue Lock was good, and now anime's good again.
Yep. Bandai would just open the floodgates to fucking good anime. You said you want to talk about Sakamoto days.
Sure.
I mean, so what you said, you didn't know whether or not animation is carrying your love for anime or what?
Is Sakamoto Days actually good? Because I liked it, but I can't tell.
I am kind of right there with you. Because there's like, I've read this manga and I was sitting there watching this and I was like, do I like this story? I did the exact same thing where I was like watching this and I was like, oh, it looks better than people like thought it was gonna look, because like the trailer didn't look good. And then like we just see like the opening sequence is like a young fit Sakamoto just gunning and running and gunning through people. And I'm just sitting there and I'm just like, man, do I like this? I don't, something about it kept me at like an arm's distance the entire time. And I don't want to say it's the animation, but I think it's the art style. Because I don't know if I like how they draw their eyes.
Okay, first off, I got a note that says Shin has the eyes of a fucking jaguar.
Okay,
He looks like a Pokemon.
Right? They're huge.
They're huge and they're really far apart.
Yeah.
He's drawn, do you know Persian, the cat?
Yeah.
He's drawn like that.
That's so fair.
No, I like the art style. I love the animation. But I was like, the whole time... Because I was always on Demon Slayer's side of people being like, oh, Demon Slayer's just carried by the animation. The anime is actually not that good. And I was always on the side of like, no, the story's also great.
Yeah.
The animation is just a bonus. Then Blue Lock happened.
Yeah.
And I'm like, man, this was like an unwatchable season because it wasn't animated well. Does that mean I don't like Blue Lock? And then this happens, and Sakamoto Days is really well animated. But yeah, there was something about me where I'm like, if this wasn't well animated, I don't think I'd like this at all. I think this would be really boring and generic.
I felt like while watching it, I was like, man, is this just Spy Family but worse?
Yeah, it's like... It was like, I don't know, it felt like Windbreaker to me in terms of like quality.
So peak?
And
So peak?
in terms of like right, because Windbreaker, I was like, I don't love this art style, this animation. And then when Windbreaker started getting to fights, I was like, it's pretty good.
Yeah.
But when they're just talking and doing stuff, I'm like, this is nothing. So yeah, I don't know. I liked it though. I enjoyed the episode.
It was so I also enjoyed the episode. It was fun.
It's just an interesting discussion of, does animation actually carry sometimes?
They do found family really fast in this, which is good. Like they get like a cast of characters because unfortunately, like Taro he's just Saitama. Like it's just like anytime that Taro gets re-injected into the conversation here, like it's like he's immediately gonna mop everything up with like a fucking like a what is it, a jawbreaker and a rubber band, right?
Yeah.
Or he'll bust out like his army worth of weapons, pull out some tasers, cut down some bad guys and save shit kind of thing. So the most compelling characters in this story are the found cast of characters that end up around Taro.
Right.
And then Taro's kind of treated as like a break in case of emergency button. So fortunately, this I think the mangaka understands that because Taro doesn't even talk. Taro doesn't talk.
I wish he talked less than he does.
Yeah. Because every time are you watching the dub or the sub?
Dub.
So they're doing it simultaneously,
Yeah.
which is nice.
Hype.
I hate how they've done his voice because they make it like gargly.
Yeah.
He's like, you're gonna come. The pay is 800 yen, and I'm like, can we just have like a fucking thought bubble above his head or something?
Like Comey can't communicate. Yeah. That'd be great. Or like a sweet old, like not old man voice, but just like, I don't know, if he talked like, if he had like Josh Gad's voice.
Yeah.
You know, I feel like that'd fit more. But yeah, he has this like badass
He's got some like
voice.
anime protagonist voice that's like getting garbled because it's thought.
I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear his voice. I like that he doesn't have a mouth. I like that he's quiet.
Yeah.
Yeah. Should we get into our notes? What did you, real quick, rate the episode though? Because I feel like we started overly negative considering I liked it.
The thing is, I like the episode. I just have reservations about I was like, have I been reading this manga recently? Because like I like the manga does get good. It gets fucking crazy. But I was like, did I like overly estimate the beginning of this manga because I was like looking for something to read? Like 8, like a 7.8, like a 7.8, I'd say. Yeah. This first episode, Shin's eyes, they just throw me off. I do love like the idea is just John Wick 2.
Yeah.
He leaves the organization. He like for love. And like his wife's not dead, but like it's like John Wick 2 if it was a comedy. So it's like Spy Family if it was John Wick kind of thing. 7.8, it's fun.
Yeah.
But I'm not like, it's not the thing I'm most excited to watch this season.
Yeah, I'd give it like a 7 because I was like smiling and like during his action scene and I really enjoyed it. But now like I think I'm just getting to a point where it's not enough. Like I'm seeing past peak animation.
Yeah.
Like I wonder if Demon Slayer came out now, if I'd like it as much.
Demon Slayer's story is good.
It is good. I genuinely do think that.
Yeah.
Because Mugen Train and Entertainment District.
If you want to look
great.
at the beginning of Demon Slayer and be like, meh, look at the fucking swamp monster.
Yeah.
Cool. I'd be like, hey, I got bored by the swamp monster cutting people up in downtown. I'm like, the way I can't even blame you.
Yeah.
But if you get to Mugen Train and you're not like, this is like fucking peak anime, then like I have nothing for you.
No, that's entirely fair. But I think I'm like getting to a point where peak animation isn't like I now have to look and be like, all right, but what's the story? Yeah. Whereas previously, like Elusive Samurai, nothing story, loved that anime because the animation was fucking awesome.
Yeah.
But yeah, now like every season we have an anime that comes out that redefines what I think great animation is.
Unfortunately, Sakamoto Days and Kagurabachi kind of fall under the same umbrella for me, where it's like, the fight sequences are really cool, the main character is really dope. I think Kagurabachi, as crazy as it's going to sound, is a slightly more compelling story. But really, the problem with Sakamoto Days and for Kagurabachi for me is that there isn't that one character. Like the reason JJK is as widely popular as it is Gojo. and Sukuna. There's characters that you can sink your teeth
Yeah.
into. Individual people in the fandom can feel very passionately about a certain character. Chainsaw Man is no different. Some people love Denji. Some people love Himeno. Some people love Aki, right?
The powers are great.
Yeah.
They're really clever.
And so this is just a story about assassins, and so people are using knives and guns, and it's something that you've seen before. So, like, yes, there's a clairvoyant, and yes, Taro is this fucking Saitama-esque character that's going to roll in and, like, fuck everybody else. And so, like, Kagurabachi obviously, like, benefits from the fact that, like, everyone's got cool magical swords, right? And the cool magical swords work differently. Some people have lightning abilities. Some people have cloud gougers. Like, cloud gouger is lightning abilities. But, like there's a better power system than Sakamoto Days. Like, Sakamoto Days, if you enjoy comedy, is going to be a great watch for you. So, like, that's why I think I'm probably going to enjoy Sakamoto Days more than you. Because, like, I like Mashal. I like One Punch Man. I like fucking The Disastrous Life of Psyche K. Like, I like Spy Family. Like, things that you don't necessarily
I like
enjoy.
Spy Family.
Yes,
I liked Buddy Daddies. This reminds me of Buddy Daddies.
That's fair.
Yeah.
I literally was pitching Dorothy on it, and I was like, oh, this is going to, like, remind you of Buddy Daddies.
Yeah.
And then she proceeded to not watch it with me.
Yeah, I know. I like comedy anime. I didn't like Mashal because I like Mashal's premise and I want it taken seriously in a different context. I don't like One Punch Man. You are correct.
Yes.
Let's go through our notes.
Okay.
I go, why is Sakamoto 50 years old and his wife is still 14?
Tougher job? Tougher
Maybe.
tougher fucking employment?
Then being a mother, I disagree.
A single mother, too.
Yeah.
Wait,
well, no, they're married.
No, they have the kid together. Yeah, you're right.
I go, I just wrote, this kid deserves to get hit, though.
Oh, the boy running
Didn't
around.
ruin that man's pants.
Listen, yeah, and then he stomped on him.
Yeah.
He also ruined the door.
Yeah, so fuck that kid.
Yep.
Shin looks like a jaguar. I have cutting his sig was so fucking cool.
Yep.
There's a lot of cool shit in here.
Yes.
Like, again, the animation's just awesome.
I mean, there's a lot of cool shit in One Punch Man.
Yeah. Ripping the ball in twain was also sick.
Yeah. And then just remaking it.
Making
Wild.
two. I wrote, also, you can absolutely play with one ball. What the fuck are you going to do with two
games
balls?
revolve around one ball.
I don't know what to play with two balls. That's too many.
Juggling poorly? Like, like, what do you do with two balls?
At one point, Shin drinks a juice that says vitamins 2 days worth.
Yep.
Just simply not how vitamins work.
I don't know why you would need 2 days. You're going to piss out half of them.
Yeah, if you drink too much vitamins, your body just doesn't absorb them. They get rid of them.
Like, I'm done with these.
Yeah. I wrote... At one point, this kid is going, do you think this is alien poop? He's looking at some poop and he pokes it. And he asks Shin, do you think this is alien poop? And then Shin goes, sorry, kid, I can't help you. And I thought he was going to go, my pooping days are behind me.
That would have been great. But instead, he screws a silencer onto a pistol like he's Luigi Mangione.
At one point, the head mafia guy goes, oh shit, that's right. He reads minds.
Yep. How do you forget that?
Buddy.
How do you forget the one dude with superpowers has superpowers? I would the way I'd be thinking about Taco Bell every time I had a conversation with this guy to make sure my thoughts aren't getting read.
Yeah. And I just wrote, this guy looks like Steve Buscemi, the head mafia guy.
He didn't say the N-word, though.
Neither does Steve.
Oh, you haven't seen fucking Reservoir Dogs?
Does he say it?
Oh my God, yeah, dude. Every third line in Reservoir Dogs.
Classic. That's classic Tarantino.
Classic Tarantino, dude. It's all right. Samuel Jackson said he's not racist.
Nice.
My notes are on Netflix, question mark.
Yeah.
Yeah, listen, but here's the thing. Netflix has kind of been doing good with anime recently.
They had Don Don, but so did Crunchyroll.
And Delicious in Dungeon.
And Yum Yum and Onion.
Yeah, they Delicious Dungeon in this. And so, like, it's so funny. Like, Hulu's very openly admitted that they're trying to do an animation push. They're like, they did like, there was like Animane, and they called it something, Animania or something like that.
Yeah, they did that one Heaven something,
they did
Heavenly Delusion.
I actually
Chainsaw Man.
Chainsaw Man is on Hulu. It's also on It's on Crunchyroll. It's made but I think like this is produced by Netflix. Sakamoto Days is being produced by Netflix. Same with Delicious in Dungeon, and they've done a couple of other. They did Baki. So Netflix is actually taking like a really concerted push into like the anime world, which is cool, I guess.
When's Castlevania come out? Like this month?
Fuck, I forgot about Nocturne Part 2. Oh my God, what if it's out already? I literally rewatched all of Castlevania Nocturne in like one sitting to get ready. Nocturne 2 season arrives this Thursday.
Oh my God.
Oh my God. I'm gonna shoot. I'm literally gonna shoot. That's so bad.
Don't shoot.
That's awesome. Oh my God, anime is so goddamn back. But yeah, I mean, the first episode is fun. I mean, I said close enough. My last note was close enough. Welcome back, One Punch Man.
Yeah.
So you're probably gonna not enjoy it. But
I think I'll like it. I like Don. That's funny.
Don is funny, but not in like Don's funny in an endearing, oh, these kids are like struggling with life kind of way.
Don's funny.
I'm not saying that Don isn't funny. I'm saying Don panders to your level of like not your level of comedy, but your type of comedy. Like you don't like Mashal, One Punch Man, and Sakamoto days fall under like, I wouldn't call it campy comedy, but it's like, huh? Like it's like, oh no, we're about to lose, and then like a gumball flies out of the air, and you see Sakamoto be like, hey, he looks at the camera and like salutes or something like that. Like it's like very much like campy-esh comedy. Don is actually like very well written, very authentic, like modern linguistically used comedy. And they're both great levels of comedy. I enjoy both, but Don's more your speed.
I like your Sakamoto face. That's why I want him to talk less.
Yeah.
I'd love if he's this weird silent.
He does not talk a lot.
Talks too much already.
A fair amount.
Yeah.
But he had, like, there's thing, when characters are being introduced, like, there's not enough characters right now around Taro to not, like, to have him not talk. The more characters they introduce, the less talking he does.
I like him going like, and if you need time off, it's paid.
Yeah. Yeah. And so, like, there's a character that's going to show up in a couple of episodes. She's like the daughter of a triad family. And it's going to be like kind of like with Kaiju number 8, where there's Rin and Kikuru, Shinomiya, and Kafka as like the main three. That's kind of like Sakamoto Day's main three. It's like a girl, Shin. I'm spacing on her name for some reason. As Shin and Taro. But yeah, so like this show is going to get better as the Found family gets larger and we get introduced into like the cavalcade of other assassins and those kinds of things. And it's like genuinely, the manga does at a certain point take the fuck off. And like some of the fight scenes are so dope. The manga is also beautifully drawn. So I'm looking forward to the future of it. I'm going to enjoy it. But yes, can we talk about Owl House before we go to Soul Leveling?
Sure, let me blow my schnoz.
Okay, go blow your schnoz. I'll hang out with chat.
All right. Tell me about
Owl House.
Tell me about the Owl
I'm
House.
episode 10 of season 2 right now. And I know you were like, oh man, you don't understand. You're spitting at me. You were looking down at me. Like, you don't even understand. Season 1's not even nearly as good as season 2. It's not even close, Nick. And it like season 2 is better, but it's not like shit. Like it's not like, oh my, like
really.
It's not like, oh my god, this is like X. But listen, but like here's the thing. You're taking what I'm saying wrong. I really enjoyed season 1.
Yeah.
I'm really, really enjoying season 2. Like, I'm not saying like, oh, season 2 isn't good. I'm saying like, oh, I really enjoyed season 1.
Yeah.
And season 2 was better. I acknowledge that, but it's not like, these are different shows.
Crazy. That's just my experience. Like season 2 took itself so seriously.
I guess, yeah.
So abruptly with Hunter and all of his stuff.
Yeah.
And it's more plot-driven episodes than like, today's the Grudge Bee match.
But I'm exactly split 50-50 on enjoying like told content and episodic content. Like I enjoy episodic content as much as I do a plot line. And if they want to go fucking enjoy a Grudge Bee match, because here's the thing. Every episode of Owl House that I've watched up until this point has tried to drive home a message of some sort. Yeah. And that message is either delivered in 1, 2, sometimes 3 episodes. Usually 1 though, at least with season 1. And like cool, as long as like I can watch an episode and be like, oh, what a cool take-home message. That's really all that matters for me. And so season 1 to me, while it definitely is less plot-driven and it takes itself a lot less seriously than season 2, there's still like a lot of like nonsense going on in season 2. Yes, Hunter is a compelling character, but Hunter is to season 2 what Amity is to season 1.
Yeah, I suppose so, yeah.
Like when Amity comes on screen, you're like, oh, we're doing serious plot points now. We're trying to build a romance. We're trying to talk about, her family being like Blight Industries. We're talking about like abominations and trying to get into Hexside, that kind of thing. And the same thing, like Hunter has filled the same role. It's just now the stakes are slightly higher because he's like the fucking Waffen SS. Yeah. You know, like he's the Golden Guard.
Yeah. I like I like the expansion of the world in season 2 also, where like you get the coven heads, and you're seeing like masters of magic use magic, like.
And mind you, Luz is like already like the fucking strongest witch in the Isles because she's got like 400 pieces of paper on her at any given moment.
Funding the paper industry in the Broiling Isles.
I thought the beginning of season 2 was actually really compelling because you get Lilith and Edith under the same house. Lilith, Edith, house. You get them under the same house. They're both trying to figure out glyph magic. And I thought that was really cool. And I was like, it was cool to see their dynamic. I liked when their mother, Gwendolyn, gets introduced and they do the storyline.
She's very...
Oh, dude, she is.
Yeah, she's a Miyazaki woman.
Dude, Gwendolyn could get it, absolutely. Yeah. But she comes in and she's like, I'm so sorry, Lilith. I spent more time focusing on Edith because she had this debilitating disease. And I thought it was a really cool perspective into like a second child born into a house, or a first child born into a house where the other sibling has a debilitating disease or any like a thing that requires that the parents take more attention to them and they feel like the forgotten child. Yeah. And as somebody whose sister is kind of a perpetual fuck up and therefore my mom spends all of her time worrying about my sister, it's like I've kind of related to it where I was like, man, I wish and like I got a percentage of that, but like my mom was so worried, like spent so much time worrying about my sister that I kind of had to do my own shit, right? Yeah. And so like there was a lot more, I'd say, overarching compelling storylines that come from season 2, but I'm not saying my enjoyment level is like 10x.
Right. Got you. Interesting.
I mean, the most recent episode I watched was season 2, episode 10, where Luz like is like, oh, I fucking figured out how to make a portal. It's actually not that hard. You just needed Titan's blood and then we're good. And so she gets like sent to like the fucking limbo. And she's seeing the Selkie or whatever it is, like transform into her and hang out with her mom, Camilla, and seeing Luz interact with Camilla and Camilla being like, why did you choose to stay there? Like, do you not like living with me? And I was fucking like tearing up this morning watching it. But at the same time, I understand Camilla's a good character. I like when she was like dealing with the conspiracy theorists and she pulled the chancla out of her purse and she just like fucking bopped him. Yeah. Bopped him so hard she knocked him unconscious with a fucking rubber chancla. I was like, that's peak Mexican mom, right? That's impressive. So I really liked that. But at the same time, hey, Camilla, you tried to send your kid to the real life world of the conformatorium. Like, how dare you try and move away? You sent her to Excel spreadsheets the camp, bitch. What are we talking about?
No, I had the exact same feeling where I was like, oh, yo, what a shock. Your daughter chose to be a witch opposed to not being a witch.
Have you ever considered like just like appreciating like her weirdness and not trying to fucking conform her to the society you believe that she should fit in?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Have you for a goddamn second, Camilla, even considered that?
Listen, I understand that Camilla is a nice person trying to do what she like thinks is best by her daughter, but Ida has done a better job raising her daughter than she has because Ida allows for like Luz to be the weirdo that she needs to be and wants to be.
It's funny. So you got to, at the end of the episode, she's like, promise me you'll come back or whatever when you can, or promise me you'll never leave again. Yeah. And Luz's like, I promise. Afterwards, Luz is all like torn up about it and everything. Like that's kind of like the emotional conflict of the next few episodes. And I'm just sitting there like, Luz, my gal, have you ever heard of this term called lying to your parents?
Absolutely.
Just simply do that.
Yeah.
But yeah, so she, I'm glad you're enjoying it. I'm glad you teared up.
Oh yeah, it's great. I mean, I have so many notes.
Give many notes.
They're very Hootie focused.
Good. Did you get to the episode where Hootie's like teaching King like what he is?
Yes.
The best joke in the whole show is in there.
Where? What?
Where he's...
You're you! Yeah.
Where he's like... So Hootie is teaching King...
Hootie gets a letter from Lilith where he's like, like everyone's going through a bunch of shit right now, and I don't know how to help them. And Lilith is like she's like, oh, everyone has these things. Like, you can help them by being you. And so Hootie takes it as like, I'm going to fucking transform all three of these people's lives with Luz, King, and Ida. Yeah, and he at one point, so he's teaching King what kind of demon he may be because they don't know, they can't figure it out, and he's like, maybe you're an insect type, and he's explaining that they like communicate through dance, and so you see these two insects dance, and he's like, poetic. Now your turn, and then King does a little dance, and then Hootie's like, don't you say that about my mother! Yeah, that was very funny. I really like that. And then he's like, well, your attempts at dance were offensive. So the season starts with Hootie just running through the Emperor's Coven. Lilith
Yeah,
and the
yeah.
Emperor's Coven come to the Owl House, and he's like literally just terrorizing them like Predator, dude. He's like fucking popping out of the ground. He's like, who are we looking for? And just like taking people out. That was awesome.
I love that he's actually good at home defense.
Yes,
like he's
incredible.
not just an obnoxious parasite. Like,
Absolutely. Like, do you understand? Like, oh, I need a house demon as well. Ida versus Lilith. That fight was sick.
Yeah.
That fight was sick as hell. Ida being like telling Luz to run away and like sacrificing herself to the Emperor's Coven was awesome.
Yeah.
She's like, I may not come back from this one for a while. When she's like losing to her owl curse was so dope. That was incredible.
it's like shockingly well animated. Like they pull a Naruto where like the episode before looks normal, and then the next episode, which is the fight, is like a movie quality animation,
That's the thing,
and you're
'cause
like,
every time-
oh, this looks weird.
The show never like blows you away with how it looks until they start fighting, and then you're like, have we been saving budget? Like, I don't know, because it's like nothing that we're doing in this show necessarily requires that we have an insane animation budget until they get to like a fucking shonen level fight, and you're like, it's like Ida and Lilith just like skating around, like teleporting behind each other, like blasting fireballs at each other. Like, oh my god, this is sick as fuck.
The last episode is like mind blowing and has like anime level animation budget.
Sick.
Yeah.
So I then continued to say, love that Lilith is becoming a main character and a friend of Hootie.
Yes, of course.
I then said, love the Hootie backpack. When they take Hootie.
Porta Hootie.
Porta Hootie's great. I said, big fan of Hootie rocket launcher.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
Yeah, just like swallowed grenades or whatever and spitting them out.
Incredible. And then I said, happy he's getting more screen time because he fucking deserves it. You were right. They absolutely realized that they just had like a great character season one, and like the Dana Terrace was like, I thought everyone was gonna hate this thing.
Yeah.
And she was like, why are they drawing fan art of it?
Yeah.
I have to rewrite season 2?
I know it's very clear that she like misunderstood the reception to Hootie in season 1.
And they were like, oh fuck, I guess I have no other choice than to make him like the main character of season 2. Edith's mom episode was gut-wrenching, and then I said, and Lilith is gone. Love Hootsifer. Love the Hootsifer nickname. That's adorable. Luz gets Ambi fired. Emperor Bellos is a humid. Cardinal chose Hunter. Ida abandoned her boyfriend.
Oh, Rain whispers.
Dude, he was like, go back to your child. It's like, Ida, fucking, your child's getting covered in puke. She'll live. She'll live.
Yeah.
Fucking don't abandon Rain Whisper for the second time.
Yeah.
You bitch.
I know.
Ridiculous.
The Rain's. I'm interested to hear what you think about them, Rain, and they remind me so much of Chester Benningfield from Linkin Park.
Okay.
They just look and sound like him.
He does look like Chester Benning. Yeah, he does look like Chester.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I didn't even think of that. Like, he's like small. It's the head shape.
Yeah, it's the head shape. It's the
head
hair.
shape.
Yeah.
That's fucking wild. I didn't think of that. And he's sad.
And he's sad. He's
That's
really
crazy.
sad. He's numb.
Huh.
Yeah.
Holy shit, that's sick. I never thought of that. I loving Hootie's demonology class. Oh my God, can Owl Ida get it? Is what I said.
Boy Kenji.
Dude, Harpy Ida?
Boy Kenji.
I don't know. Something about the wings, man.
Yeah.
Something about the wings. I don't know. Something about the claws.
She's hot. The fact that they took an already hot voice and made it hotter.
Question.
Yep.
Question for you.
Yeah.
I've noticed recently a lot of the characters in Owl House go through like cosmetic changes. Luz gets like a bunch of different like she gets like a different colored sleeve, different color like legs. Ida and Lilith get one gray eye each. And then every time I watch, I'm like, wow, new cosmetic change. And then the next time I watch the intro, they have that cosmetic change. And I'm like, was it always like that? Or did they change it? And I haven't gone back to an episode like pre-it to check because like I'm too lazy. I was wondering if you knew.
I also don't know. I also had the same thought.
Okay.
Because I watched the intro.
So we were both too lazy to simply
Yeah.
just watch like season 1, episode 1
Yeah,
to see
to
if they
just
had
pull it up. Yeah. No, because I thought that with like Hunter, where like he joins the intro, and I'm like, was he always in here? Like with his mask off and shit? Like, yeah.
And you just didn't know to look for him because you were like, oh, fucking that's background character C or something like that.
You know who plays Hunter, voice actor wise?
No.
Hawks from My Hero.
Crazy.
And also he's
Still a murderer.
And he's still a murderer. Yeah,
tracks. Very
he
much
loves
tracks.
it.
Yep.
He just loves
Just
it.
a murdering fascist.
God, I love Hawks love murdering.
Yep.
Like, he also plays Lou from Link Click.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Holy shit. And then my last note is not the Dragon Ball is 30 years old reference.
Yeah, what they call it.
like dragon. They called it like Dragonstone Z or some shit
yeah.
like that. And then they're like, "This is 30 years old." And Ida was like, "This is 30 years old." I was like, "Holy fuck! Oh no!" I was like, "It's all bad." But yeah, I'm very much enjoying Owl House. I'm watching it in my free time right now.
Dude, the knocking on Hootie's door when Ida is like reconciling with her owl beast, and it's all black and white, and there's like a red string tied. So like. That's when I was like, oh, this is fucking cinema
trying
now.
to climb out of the ocean, and she's like, we need to work together here.
Yeah.
And then she has to like make a deal with it, and she's like, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do that. And they come back, and she's like, fucking sorry, we're late. Ida had to eat 9 bowls. She's like, I'm sorry, trying to make it up to this harpy thing here.
No, I like the idea that Ida isn't cursed. Like Ida's just as much cursed with the owl beast as the owl beast is cursed with her.
Well, so I didn't realize. I was like, oh, cool, they reconciled. As an incredibly, I mean this. Like an incredibly, everyone wants to be like neurodivergent nowadays. Like, oh, I have, like I'm not saying the people who are actually diagnosed with neurodivergency aren't neurodivergent, but like everyone wants to be oh, I'm just a little bit autistic, and it's like you are a frat president. Like you're not, you're incredibly social. Don't even, I am incredibly neurotypical. And so watching that, I was like, oh, Ida reconciled with the curse and she learned to live with the curse. But Stank, our editor, texts us and he's like, that episode hit so hard because like she's reconciling with like a chronic disease.
Yeah.
She was like, you can't beat these chronic diseases. You have to learn to live with them.
Yeah.
Or a mental illness battle or something like along those lines. And as somebody who's healthy, neurotypical, and fucking privileged, I was like, oh, she's living with her curse.
She got over it. Bloop, bloop.
Yeah, I was like, good job. I was like, of course the owl's not happy to be with her either. Who would be?
Yeah.
But it was so cool to see his perspective on that. And I was like, oh my God, I didn't even think of that. But it's so funny because the Gwendolyn shit got to me.
Yeah.
Where I was like, oh, and like the Camilla thing. I told you before the pod, I was like, I think I miss my mom. I was just like very solemn. I think I'm gonna miss my mom. I'm gonna call her after this. And so it's cool. There's a lesson for everybody.
Yeah.
There's a message for everybody. And I think that's one of the coolest parts. I think that's like honestly why stories like this are so incredibly important is because like everyone's like, oh, why does representation matter? Why does this character need to look like me? It's like, oh, because like there's these moments in these TV shows where you feel acknowledged because of the like what the characters look like or what they're accomplishing story-wise.
Yeah.
And I think Owl House does a really good job at that without it being. And here's the thing: if somebody was to yell about like if the person who's actually upset that one of the most qualified people of all time is the LAFD fucking head captain, but because they're a queer woman that they're destroying fucking all of LA, like they're a DEI pick, you'd watch Owl House and you'd be like, this disgusting DEI propaganda. Yeah. But like, if you have a fully formed brain, you can look at this and you're like, it's never thrust in your face.
Yeah.
Like fucking Luz being Hispanic is never thrust in your face. She speaks Spanish sometimes. Camilla's got a chancla. But that's like, it's never like.
It's just their culture.
It's just a part of the story. Like Luz being like interested in Amity.
Yeah.
I don't know if she's bi. I don't know if she's like, clearly she was interested in the Sasuke light character.
Yeah, true.
So like Luz being bi is never even treated as a conversation point. It's just like, she's romantically interested in Amity. And like the way that everything is just included and not a focus point is really, really like to me enriching and like
it's all just treated as like heteronormative like plot stuff. Which is very cool. And like Luz, like before Ida knew Luz was into Amity, like she's like why are you freaking out, kid? And Luz is like, I want to ask that girl out, but it like didn't work. And Ida's just like, whoa. Well, what's the matter? Go ask her out. You know, it's just like, again, they're just
treating... but Ida munched box in college.
Well,
dude, Ida was munching box in college.
I mean, Rain's non-binary.
Oh, really?
Is also a thing. Yeah, I think the voice actor is too, but they're like canonically non-binary. I think Gus is like the only straight character.
Who the fuck is Gus?
Who the fuck is Gus?
Gus, the guy I actively... Gus the what? Okay, between season 1 and season 2, they changed a bunch of voice actors, though.
No, they didn't. He just hit puberty.
Is that what happened?
He was the only actual child.
Okay, so that's why he got like his voice got deeper.
Yeah.
And they made him taller, too.
Yeah.
And they're like fucking the first thing that like they say to him, like, oh my God, did we miss a couple of years with you, Gus? Okay, that's funny.
He was like, no, wizard puberty just hits quicker.
Okay.
Yeah, he just actually grew up, that's voice
funny.
actor.
What about Lilith? Did they change? I thought they changed Lilith.
I don't think so, no.
Oh, crazy.
Just higher pitch now, like just talking more cheerfully.
Yeah, that's fair. Like she's just happy to be somewhere.
Yeah. It's great. I said this before, and I mean it. be interested to hear if you agree, because in the way that you're like, oh, the mom stuff hits me.
Yeah.
I love a protagonist who's like an outcast weirdo and grows into someone responsible and mature,
but
like,
still an outcast weirdo.
Like, I kind of like, not that they grow out of it. Like, they don't grow out of it. It's more that people accept them more.
Yeah.
But I like seeing them, like, mature. I don't want to see them still be, like, kind of insufferable by the end.
yeah.
Like, I like that.
Releasing snakes in the principal office.
Yeah,
type thing,
like, chill with that shit. Like, but, like, it's like with Naruto, where, like, we see him mature in that, like, in the beginning, I get why people hate him. Yeah. He's hard to be around.
He's a grading child who commits misdemeanors every day.
Yeah, he's really obnoxious. And yeah, he's doing graffiti all over shit.
Yeah, on like the fucking founding presidents of this nation.
Yeah.
Who are actually like good people.
Yeah, and it's like one of those things where it's like he's sympathetic because you get that he's like that because everyone hates him. It's cyclical.
Yeah.
And then he grows into someone very responsible, very mature. He still has his like likes and wishes and dreams, but he like matures out of some of those like flaws.
Yeah.
And I love seeing that. Luz genuinely has like a similar arc as like Edward Elric, both in like themes and impact. Like, I think she's as good of a character as Edward Elric by the end. Where you're like, with Edward, you're like, oh, this is an obnoxious runt. I buy that he ends up being the world's best alchemist because his journey is so believable, and the reason he has to like make these advancements makes sense. Like, he ends up in gluttony, and so that's how he figures out like him escaping gluttony's stomach advances him a little, and him like being near the Philosopher's Stone and having to use it in clever ways like makes him better. Loses the same, where by the end you're like, I buy that she is someone they would make a statue out of.
Yeah.
They, neither here nor there if they do. But like, I'm like, I buy that she should be like president of the Boiling Isles by the end.
Yeah. Interesting. Yeah, no, so I'm very excited. I think I have like 9 more episodes in season 2, and then I have the 3 episodes of season 3. Probably be done 2 weeks from now, I think. Like, based off the amount of free time Nick has on a week-by-week basis.
Yeah.
But yes, I'm very much enjoying it. It's probably one of my favorite things I watched in 2024.
Wow.
I wouldn't say my favorite thing, but it's definitely like top 5, top 6 for sure.
Yeah. It's still getting better.
Speaking of things that I really enjoyed that we're so happy that dropped in 2024, Creature Commandos ended 7 episodes in.
Bummer that it ended.
I thought we were gonna get more than 7 episodes.
I got notes for that too.
It was awesome.
Yeah.
This is one of the best things that DC has made in years. A lot of people, we posted a TikTok talking about how much I adored Creature Commandos, and some people in our comments were like, they spent too much time fleshing out the backstories of these characters, which took away from the main plot lines. And I was like, you know what Creature Commandos felt like to me? It's a video game. It's one of the best video games of all time, and it's a sequel. One guess. 2013-ish.
Whoa.
Second game in a trilogy. One of the best games of all time.
Oh my god.
2013-ish.
2013-ish. I don't know. Well, Arkham City came out in like 2011. And Skyrim.
I want to see if chat guesses before you.
Let me see. That's interesting. 2013.
2013-ish. Second game.
Not Dishonored. That doesn't make sense.
Was Dishonored a trilogy?
Dishonored 2. I guess not. What the fuck was a trilogy? Mass Effect? Earlier than 2013.
No.
Like 2009.
2? The second one?
Yeah.
2009?
Let me see.
Holy shit,
Yeah.
really? Oh, no. That didn't feel like that long ago.
2010.
Oh, God. 16 years ago? Oh, no. Damn.
There we go.
That's what Creature Commandos feels like to me. It feels like Mass Effect 2.
Yeah.
One of the greatest games of all time. And the reason that Mass Effect 2 is one of the greatest games of all time is because by the end of the story, if you haven't taken the time to meet every single part of your crew, every person who you don't complete their quest line for dies by the end of the story. And so Mass Effect 2 is made better strictly through the fact that you get to know everybody you're serving with, and because of that, they survive. And that's exactly what Creature Commandos felt like to me, where it was like, oh, meeting all these characters feels like it distracts away from the main plot. And it's like, the main plot's not all that compelling. The main plot is simply, hey, Clayface turned into a person, tricked fucking Amanda Waller into thinking that Pokolistan was going to like lead to the end of the world so that Cersei could launch an invasion of Pokolistan with her fucking new Themyscira boys.
But it turns out
that it was Clayface and that Pokolistan is
no, it turns out that
yeah,
it was the princess of Pokolistan.
Yes.
Doing that it's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
It was a real fucking
So the princess of Pokolistan ends up like setting up Clayface to get like the Princess of Pokolistan wants a war between Pokolistan and New Themyscira because she's like this narcissistic fucking warmongering monster who wants to use this power. You can see that like these highly advanced like soldiers in Pokolistan. She's trying to like get backing essentially from the United States in a battle against Themyscira so she can become this like giant political force. Right. And that's not revealed until the very end in what was one of my favorite twists in modern media. Like Bride walking down and like you can tell like Bride's pissed about it. Like Bride's like, oh, we tried to assassinate her. And in this final moment, there's this acknowledgement that Bride has always been in control.
Right.
And like we never really appreciated that because like it's not like Bride has always been shown to be an incredibly competent character, but we didn't know like of her intellect until the very end.
Yeah.
And so yes, the twist is that the princess of like Pokolistan has been fucking pulling the strings of Amanda Waller, trying to get people like to be sympathetic to her cause, America to be sympathetic to her cause, kind of thing. But she ends up killing in the final episode the one character that we're supposed to like. The one character is supposed to be good.
Yeah.
And that's Nina.
Right.
Whose backstory we get that episode.
Yeah.
And which makes the payout of her death all the greater.
Yeah. So you think Creature Commando is better because it focused so much on the backstory?
Absolutely.
I feel that. But I also get the comments that were saying it focused too much because I'm almost on the opposite end where I'm like, the backstories sometimes were the least interesting part.
Interesting.
Because they're
Whose
all...
backstory?
Like all of them.
Really?
Because they're all like comic book origins from like 1983.
Okay.
So it's like Dr. Phosphorus, one of my favorite characters. You know, oh, he's trying to do some cancer research, which I like. The second it was that, I kind of rolled my eyes because I was like, oh, obviously he's Dr. Manhattan. He's literally Dr. Manhattan. You know, he's doing some cancer research and he gets in with the mob and the mob kills his family and then they throw him into his machine and that turns him into Dr. Phosphorus.
Yes.
It's literally Dr. Manhattan, but you add mobs.
Yeah. And you add that he kills the people who kill his family, but yes.
Which is cool.
Yeah.
There's that. I didn't like Weasel's backstory because I liked that he was a child-eating monster.
Uh-huh.
I liked it's more interesting to me to be like, this is a literal monster that eats children.
Yeah.
Now we're going to see if we can get you to like him, despite that. Rather than being like, oh no, actually he's always loved kids. And so now he's always been redeemable.
Instead of making a sympathetic character, make you, like kind of like Always Sunny, make you like a character that's inherently unlikable.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, what a fun writing challenge to be like, we're going to make this thing so lovable. You're going to ignore the fact that he ate 13 kids.
Yeah.
Fucking Nina's backstory is literally like, it was cool, but again, no backstory was like, wow, that I can only get that here.
I guess.
You know?
Bride, I'd reckon.
I reckon.
How often do you have Dr. Frankenstein piping down the Bride of Frankenstein, baby?
Well, that's fair. I mean, I liked them all. I enjoyed them all, but I get the side that's like, oh, we're doing this a lot because it's like, they're pretty generic comic book origins.
I guess. But to me, generic doesn't necessarily mean bad as long as you write it well.
I disagree. I mean, no, I agree.
Yeah.
I agree with that. I understand the other side. Frankenstein was also my favorite character.
Yes.
I really hope he's not dead.
No, he's not. You see him in the end.
Do you?
He's with another Romani woman.
Thanks.
And they're eating soup and he's like, what is this? And she's like, sparrow dumpling soup. And he's like, this is awful. And she's like,
I don't know how I missed that.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Thank God. Thank God. I love him. He's so funny.
No, he's fine.
I think he's the best character. I like her like squadding up with her new team.
Yeah.
That's exciting.
Yeah, you see King Shark, all them.
You see a Pharaoh dude.
Yeah, there's some like Bat Lady kind of thing.
Yeah, Batwoman. That's cool. King Shark. I don't know if I need.
I love King Shark.
I love him in live action.
I love James Gunn's Sylvester Stallone iteration of King Shark.
I agree. I really like him in the movie. He's more fun in live action because he's a little scary looking. Yeah. You know what I mean?
He's like all scarred up and shit. Yeah,
he's all fucked up. And he's a big shark. But so King Shark's back. That's very fun. Yeah, it's like just good.
Yeah,
it's just really good.
It was so well written. It was just great. I'm very happy with how it turns out. I thought it was a really cool twist that like in the end, because like I said in like the first couple episodes, I was like, oh, we don't necessarily know whose side to choose. Like, because like here Rick Flag is trying to be like, hey, we need to stop this. And like your gut tells you in episode 7 that the princess shouldn't die, because it's like, oh, like morally the princess seems in the clear here. And it feels as though Rick Flag and Frankenstein are trying to work against like the assassination of this princess. But there has been a couple of like these moments where you're like, oh, she is kind of wild. And then you see like her eyes go crazy as she's stabbing Nina, and you're like, I don't know if this is a sympathetic character anymore. Like I love Nina as a character. Yeah. And so it's kind of this like it's a coin flip the entire time until the bride, like it's like a fucking Ocean's movie, breaks down that she's been onto her shit this entire time. Because like she puts together with this final piece of evidence that Clayface has been in Kolistan.
You know what's weird? Maybe they answered this in like the first episode and I missed it. Is there a reason the creature commandos specifically need to do this mission?
Because Amanda Waller can't use the Suicide Squad anymore.
No, but I mean, like, is there a reason they have to be monsters? Wouldn't it be cool?
She can't use human. Like,
because it's illegal.
Episode, yeah, you can't use humans for missions anymore.
Right,
so
okay,
like,
yes.
I'm gonna choose non-humans.
I just wish it was like only monsters could figure this one out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
this is only for the green-skinned.
Like, just send like actual real SEAL Team 6.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
They're not melting their way through a fucking concrete wall, though.
I guess so. It helps that they have powers.
Yes.
I have as my notes, did she just call him Ghost Rider?
Yes.
That was interesting.
That was interesting. But he's a...
Well, but I mean, because that's a Marvel thing.
No.
Yeah.
Is it?
Mm-hmm. They also mentioned Disney, which was interesting. They called her Nina, or what's her face, a Disney princess.
That's not.
I'm just saying, it's interesting.
I was going to say, you can do that, right? That's fine.
Yeah. Well, it's just a lot of Marvel references.
You know what I like? I like that James Gunn made cops the bad guy in every possible twist.
Yeah.
Like, it's like the fucking Nina's dad running to see her, and a cop just pops him in the heart.
Pops him in the back.
Yeah. Like, fucking shoot him in the knee, dude. What are we doing here? Pull your taser out.
Just grab him.
Yeah.
He's just a man. He's just an unarmed man.
That's like in every possible turn, James Gunn was like, cops are pigs.
Yeah.
Like, fuck yeah, dude. Based.
At one point, the wife, Nina's mom, goes, "That is not a life."
Yeah.
She's living a pretty solid life, all things considered.
Man, like she's just wearing a respirator, dude.
She's really happy.
If she was in like an iron lung, maybe. I understand.
It wasn't until she's like 4 and like wheezing under the weight of this thing, looking like Danny DeVito. That I was
she looked like who's the guy from Mad Max Fury Road who's got the fucking nipple clamps?
Yeah, a Morton Joe or whatever.
Like
yeah,
one of them. Yeah.
Yeah, I wrote. Where is it? Well, then I wrote. Did this bitch really just leave him for loving their daughter too much?
Yeah.
And then I wrote, never mind, she's a fucking Crash Bandicoot villain now.
Yeah, absolutely.
With her crazy, like, pumps. Like, I wrote, at one point the mom goes, she doesn't even look at me. And the dad goes, because you don't look at her. Really hit me. Really heavy conversation.
Yeah, it was, like, very well written. I'm very funny, though. Like, this father, fantastic father, establishment, many times he's a fantastic father. Don't send your fish daughter to high school.
Yeah, don't let her play lacrosse at least.
That's the worst place you could have sent your fish daughter. Like, you think fucking, if you have a slight hunch, you're getting made fun of in high school, especially a high school that's got fucking a prep school that's got fucking little outfits everybody needs to wear. You're gonna send your actual what is the Abraham from fucking what's his name? Is his name Abraham?
Yeah,
right?
Abraham
from fucking
Hellboy
to fucking prep school. It's a terrible idea.
Awful idea. Do not let her play lacrosse.
No.
Do not let her play a contact sport.
Yeah, what if her helmet cracks?
Yeah. I agree. Send her to college.
Maybe.
Right? They're nicer there.
Absolutely.
It worked for young Sheldon. Mm-hmm. They weren't that mean. People are definitely nicer in college, in my experience. They're a little more mature.
Yeah, if you bully somebody in college, like, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah, it's like, what are you? Get out of here.
You're 20.
Grow up.
Yeah.
You fucking... You pay taxes. Like,
fuck off. Go to biology.
I wrote, I like when he's injecting her. So she's a baby and he's injecting her with a bunch of shit. And then at some point, they're like, the sirens start going off and she starts seizing. It's like, oh, fuck, it's not working. Never mind. Make her a fish.
Yeah. Gills work, right?
Yeah, plan B, make her a fish.
Yeah.
I fucked up.
I've been injecting salmon into her for a week. I don't know what's going to happen.
One point a nurse goes, doctor, you're gonna drown her. And he's basically like, she's my daughter. I'll drown her if I want.
Like, at that point, there's literally slits in her neck, right?
Yeah.
And he's like, I am a doctor. I know that this is gills.
Yeah.
I also like that that when the kid is born, this is something that happens like in superhero and like anime content all the time, where they're like, oh, her lungs are on the outside of her body, but you're one of the best scientists on Earth, so you can probably make something.
Yeah.
It's like, boy, oh boy, not how it works. Not it's like you're a big scientist at Merck, and it's like your daughter is born with lungs outside of her body. He'd be like, cool. There's no money in this. Like, I cannot make this. It will not happen.
Yeah, there's no. You can't just improv science,
Nope.
you know? Like,
not because you're good doesn't mean you know exactly how to fucking fix outside lunginitis.
yeah. I got at one point the like headmaster of the school goes, and she always has to wear that.
Yeah.
Hey, lady, she's a goddamn fish.
She has webbed goddamn fingers.
She has a scaled green skin and gills. Say ribbit bitch is hilarious.
That is. That's a great take. That's a great take against a literal fish woman.
I love him like pushing her against the locker and it's like, I said say ribbit, bitch. These are crazy. I feel like I wasn't like, we didn't have a lot of like physical bullying in my high school. People were just like verbally mean.
Yeah.
Say ribbit bitch is verbally mean. I feel like if there was a transfer student and she was a fish.
Yeah.
Most of the men would be trying to figure out how to have sex with her.
Oh, 100%.
If she was a relatively hot fish woman.
I'll tell you right now, if Nina transferred to my high school, the first thing I would have done was try to fuck her.
Yeah. People would be not this type of meat at least.
No, it would be, there would absolutely be like, what she'd send nudes to one guy and he'd spread it around the entire campus. They'd be like, oh my God, fish titties.
That'd be scandal, yeah. Dr. Phosphorus almost backhanding Weasel is also hilarious.
That was funny.
That's all of my notes.
Yeah, it's a great show. It's a very good show. And if you're into DC, actually, even if you're not into DC at all, like it's actually like every single backstory explores a lot of really interesting themes. And it's really goddamn good. Also, Nina gets naked in this one. So, that's cool. No nipples though.
That's fine.
No fish nipples.
I didn't need her to get naked.
That's fair.
Especially mid her growing up backstory.
Yeah. That was interesting.
I was like, wait.
Like they were like, oh, the fish, so fine.
Well, she also left home in high school.
Yeah.
And so it's like, am I looking at underaged fish porn here?
I guess, but then like it's kind of like she's gotten like it's just like that's her body. It's kind of like how like Beastars, where all the animals be wearing clothes.
Yeah.
And it's like, why?
Well, here's the thing. It's a naked human.
Yeah.
Isn't inherently sexual. You take one art class and that kind of like gets knocked out of you. What?
You just cover my face.
You take one art class and you realize the naked body isn't inherently sexual.
Of course.
But when you draw her with this like plump, huge ass,
thick as hell,
and like she's doing the sexy walk,
you're getting that porn POV where you're looking at the two butts.
Yeah, it's the low angle. Like it's how it's depicted. That's like, come on, Jamathan.
Come on, Jamathan Gunneth.
Yeah. Jamathan Gunwell, what are you doing? Like, after this traumatic high school backstory, I didn't need to see her.
She was returning to fish, man.
Yeah, I didn't need to see her dump trucked into oblivion.
Absolutely. Cool. But should we get to our main event here?
Solo leveling?
Solo leveling.
I have two notes.
You have two notes.
I have two notes, but I did enjoy the show.
Inspiring.
Yeah.
Have you seen both episodes?
Yes.
Okay.
I wrote, nice haircut, Tobey Maguire. You look like an absolute doofus.
Wow.
You look like Levi Ackerman got his head caught in a lawnmower.
Hey, brother, he's got my haircut.
No, but yours is even. He's got
Fair.
like one bang down the middle.
Oh, we're talking Spider-Man 3 Tobey Maguire.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't like his haircut. How do you feel? I feel that's gonna be unpopular.
It's absolutely going to be unpopular because he looks way hotter, and that's the entire. That is like half the purpose. Our dog just exchanged position.
I know.
That's like half the purpose of the show is like, oh, Jinwoo's hot now, and so society treats him different.
He looks-
society treats him different by being like, you want to fuck these high schoolers, and he's like, I could, I don't know if I'm going to.
He looks like what like 50 Shades of Grey thinks is hot. Where he's like,
Yes.
he just looks like a piece of shit. You know? Like he looks like he like takes off his watch and is like, sit in the corner, I'll come when I'm ready.
Yeah,
you know, like
put the cuffs on. Do you mind? It's like, put the cuffs on yourself. You know how to do it.
Yeah, like he's taking the cufflinks out of his shirt and like rolling up his sleeves. And he's like, be a good girl and get my paddle. And it's like this is too much. You look like a fucking scumbag.
They definitely turned him into like a standard. They made him hot. No,
He looks like
it's
$1
not even-
trillion bucks.
Yeah,
Like,
he does. He looks like there's this very famous Japanese host. There's like hosting is a whole. It's a whole culture. I'd have to explain. Basically, you can go to clubs and you can pay to talk to people. And like so, it's a very pervasive for both men and women, attractive men and women. He looks like the fucking Korean ideal of beauty.
Yeah.
Like that's the thing. It's like he's tall, he's muscular, and what you realize is if you read enough manhwa, it's like Korean manhwa give people like exaggerated, realistic haircuts, and it's like Korea's got haircuts. Like for sure, like Korea has different hairstyles than Japan and China and all that.
Yeah.
And
No, I
so
figured it was
he's got
like a cultural
Korean
thing.
ass haircut.
Yeah.
But like exaggerated as hell. I think he looks sick personally, but like he is definitely like they turned to like they looks maxed. They like turn like the looks max shaders to 11.
yeah. He looks. It's just the unevenness of the hair that I
Gotcha.
don't like. He looks like Atsushi.
Is that don't even start with fucking Atashi's bullshit ass hair. Fucking dumbass hair. This fucking slant cut.
Yeah.
Like nobody looks at him and is like, what are you doing?
No, I figured it was like a cultural thing. And I went in on it anyway.
Yeah, good.
And then my second note is from episode 2. This is also kind of a cultural joke.
Yeah.
Where he arises the bears.
Yeah.
And he goes, arise. And they come up. And then he says, good. But in Japanese, it sounds like, yush.
Yeah.
So he's like, arise. And they come up and he's like, yush.
Yeah.
It's like, I love this.
I got fucking bears now.
Yeah, so what do you think of these episodes?
I thought they were dope.
Tell you right now, way better than episode 1 of season 1.
Episode 1 of season. Oh yeah.
I remember being like, I see why.
Half the episode is introducing Jinwoo, and then they got to get to the gate. And
Yeah.
they're just killing like spiders and.
I remember
golems.
us being like, thank God they released this in 2 parts. Otherwise, they may just cancel it after
I
episode
forgot.
1.
Yeah, they did like 2. They did like 2 episodes of
Yeah.
the first drop there, so we could get to him like
Yeah.
the big old smile.
Yeah.
That was smart of them. This is really good. I don't even remember what happens in episode 1, honestly.
Episode 1, God, I only took the 2 notes. They get into the, whatever, the red zone.
Yeah.
The college red zone.
That's kind of it.
And, and then they split into teams. They
Oh,
fight the bears.
And they show Chul Kim's team dies.
No, a lot happens.
Yeah,
they
you're right,
fucking
you're-
he summons his necro army,
Yeah.
which fights a bunch of bears, and then he explains that Igris is way stronger than him.
Yeah, if Igris had fought with his blades, that he would have won, and then Igris wins in a battle against like the head bear.
Yeah.
The most Russian bear.
Yeah, and now he gets the bear.
Yep.
I like the tone of solo leveling a lot.
Yeah.
It reminds me of like Attack on Titan or like Goblin Slayer,
Unpack that for me.
where it's very like, oh fuck, everything's falling apart always, and
Yeah.
like it's a lot of like people with their eyes bugging and like, because they go in and you think it's gonna be like Sword Art Online,
Yeah.
where even though like things go wrong, people are still kind of like having a blast.
Yeah, they're just like, oh wow, I can taste pizza in this world, and it's like, hey,
Yeah.
you just watched your best friend die to a mob boss.
Yeah, this is a lot of people go in and then it turns into a horror anime, and then One Punch Man shows up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's very accurate. So like, Jinwoo is a really cool MC. He's always overpowered. That's there's very few situations where you have any doubt that Jinwoo's gonna come out of it. And that's like because of how he starts. Like in the beginning of the story, you're like, oh, he's getting fucked up. He's like losing arms. He's getting like gored by all the statues, that kind of thing. And so like Jinwoo has competency, but I like that Jinwoo establishes that like other things are stronger than him, but like now because he's able to work collaboratively, like with his like necromancy army, like he's able to overcome.
Yeah.
So like him in episode 2, the fucking guy from the party that split off from the weak people come in to like get him. And Jinwoo just has Igris just stab this dude in the stomach and then immediately turns him into like one of his shadow soldiers. I thought was really sick. And then like that guy coming back is Iron, and like now he's like two of his like more iconic shadows, Iron and Igris, battling against this like fucking ice elf or whatever. That fight was sick as hell.
Yeah.
That fight was so goddamn good. My favorite part from that fight in episode 2, because episode one's fine. Like it's not like
I thought it was pretty great.
like he's sliced through some bears. There's like bears versus soldiers. That's dope. Like I'm not gonna say episode 1 is bad. It was fucking fantastic. But episode 2 is the better of the two episodes. But like episode 2, we see this like ice elf like pop off kind of thing, and there's a scene where Jinwoo stabs the ice elf in the stomach, and then you see like Iron is setting up to hammer him. But my favorite part, and this is such a like little piece, you see Jinwoo walk away slowly, but into stealth.
Yeah.
So he disappears. Did you catch that? Like when
when
he appears and like you see like blood on his stomach and Jinwoo appears, and then he just walks away into stealth. So sick.
Yeah.
This is it's animated so well. One of my favorite animation sequences of a speed feat of all time was there's the three archers lining up at the the other members of his crew, and we just see them like standing in relative stop motion, and Jinwoo just comes by in like standard animation and cuts them all down.
Yeah.
I was like, that's how speed feats should be done.
Yeah.
Like don't just draw like a line, show me what he's doing while they're standing still. That was sick.
Yeah. It's definitely being sick, the anime.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
That will never stop.
Another one that is a reasonable contender for like, is it carried by the animation? For sure. But like, yeah, the animation's sick. I like the colors.
Yeah.
I like when the guy gets shot in the eyeballs by an ice arrow.
That was fucking brutal.
That's very cool.
Yeah.
I like the ice elves and everything. Oh, I was gonna ask, in the manhwa, are there... So in season 1, we talked about how it was cross-cutting between stuff it didn't cross-cut to.
Yeah.
In the manhwa, like, Jinwoo would be in a dungeon and you cut to, like, I don't know, the president yapping or whatever.
The Chable book or whatever his name is or something like that.
Here, it's cross-cutting between some also, like, just piece of shit, money laundering looking dude.
Dong Soo Hwang.
Yeah.
He's an S-ranked hunter who left Korea. He's Korean. He went to America to be a part of the Scavengers Guild, which is led by this guy named Thomas Andre.
Yeah, it's him and another S ranker, and they're like duking it out.
Yeah.
Is that in the manhwa? Like
Yes.
where it is currently?
I believe so. I literally just lent Amos the first 5 books because he wanted to read them, but I couldn't check right now, unfortunately.
I can't imagine like there are anime like My Hero, Naruto, One Piece, where I watch the anime and I'm like, I want to read the manga because I feel like that'll be a different experience.
Yeah.
There is simply no reason to read the manhwa after watching the anime.
For Soul Leveling, no.
Yeah.
After Soul Leveling's anime is out, it will be the definitive best way to consume that piece of media because they're doing much better job at fleshing out the universe. I'm realizing now that the reason, and you can see this in the intro, the reason that they're fleshing out all these characters in season 1 and season 2 is because the second half of the season is going to feature an arc known as the Jeju Island arc. Which is something they talked about a little bit in season 1. They were like, oh, in
Is this the one with the ants?
Yes,
the ants no one could kill.
Yeah, the S-rank gate that opened on Jeju Island, which is like a vacation island located off the coast of South Korea. They're building up towards that raid at the end of the arc, and they're trying to, like, kind of like with the Hashira arc, or like the Hashira training arc, where they use that arc to introduce the Hashira who are going to be heavily involved in the Infinity Castle arc. They're introducing all those characters so that we know them better going into the second half of the season. Yeah. So I don't know if they probably will. I don't know if 1A Pictures is doing this.
I have no idea.
I think it's 1A. I think 1A is doing that specifically so that we can have the best possible look and connection to these characters in the second half of that arc. In the second half of the season, and I'm sure that they're going to continue to do it after Jeju Island, which will be wrapped up, or like probably going to be like just starting by the end of the season. But that's like for that specific purpose.
Yeah.
But we're going to see some big old ants.
Big old goddamn ants.
We got ants on the horizon.
I love that in season 1 where they just keep being like, no one can fucking deal with these ants.
Yeah, they're the strongest ants I've ever seen in my life.
But yeah, it's been cool. It's been pretty cool. I like it.
It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be a lot of fun. It's definitely gonna be the best thing we watch this season. I also love
Except Nocturne.
Oh, I mean, yeah.
I release it once a week.
What, Nocturne?
Don't drop every goddamn episode of a show at
it's
once.
so bad for like
Content? Yeah,
Netflix
it's
always
awful.
does it. Like Netflix always drops everything simultaneously, and it's like I don't know what to do with it.
Yeah.
It's good for a consumer, but also I
Yeah.
feel like it's bad for them as a product.
Well, it sucks because it's like Arcane did it better,
Yeah.
at least, because it came out in arcs.
Yeah.
And so the Arcane discussion lasted
At least 3
like a
weeks.
month. Yeah. But when it all drops, you get the discussion. No one's even talking about Squid Games 2.
No.
I haven't heard anything
The
about
fact
it.
that they dropped all 7 episodes of Squid
Yeah.
Game season 2, it simultaneously, I was like, this is fucking nuts.
I saw people talk about it for a week. Granted, a lot's been happening.
Yeah.
But like
I finished it in 2 days.
I haven't seen it. A lot's been happening.
It's as good as season 1.
But yeah, like it's just there's not enough time for the hype.
Yeah.
So that's always a bummer.
Yeah, no,
But-
like, it's like fucking Beast Games. Beast Games is dropping 1 episode a week, and so people
Yeah.
are talking about it over a continuous period. It draws more attention to it. People are more likely to like catch on to it. I don't get how Netflix doesn't understand this. I'm sure they're going to drop all of Nocturne simultaneously
Yeah.
because Nocturne isn't like their premier. To me, I feel like Nocturne is like their B tier project.
Yeah.
They're too busy trying to figure out like fucking Yellowstone season 7 or whatever. I don't
Maybe.
know. I don't know if that's.
I think that's Paramount, but
I don't know,
They're
or
trying to
care.
figure out fucking Stranger Things.
Aren't they all like 20?
They're on like 5, but it takes them
Aren't
like
they like 25 now?
Really? Yeah, age. Yeah, they're very old.
Yeah.
The problem is every episode has like the budget and production of a movie.
Yeah.
So they're releasing like 10 movies
That's
at
a
once.
fucking
Like,
nightmare. I can't even imagine, dude. Cool. With that should bring us to. Oh wait, before we move any further, Jin Ho just letting Jin Woo be a pedo. Hilarious.
Yeah,
He's
some-
like, like he thinks he's two are fucking, and he's like, you know, that's a child, right? And he's like, yeah. And Jin Ho's just like,
Jino's just like, nice.
yeah, he's fucking hell yeah, dude. He's like, yeah, closing gates in and out of the fucking out of the mystical world. Yeah, that was wild.
Yeah.
Like it was like, all right, Jinhu, clearly I see the characteristics of your character if you're willing
Yeah.
to ride with this pedophile to fucking build your own guild.
I know,
whatever.
more like Jin Ho.
I mean, that's his name.
He's a Jin Ho.
No, his name's Jinho.
You just said.
Did I say Jinhu? That's on me.
Damn it.
All right, that brings us to our best boy. Danny, who's your best boy this week?
Baldur's Gate 3.
Oh,
I've been playing it with Sarah, and it hasn't been infuriating.
I'm sorry. What now?
it's
Don't
been
tell me.
a-
Can I guess what Sarah's build is?
Yeah,
She's a druid.
you're correct.
And she's doing animorphs.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, cool.
Yeah, she's big. I was going to say, guess what animal she is?
Owlbird.
Nope.
Owl beast.
Owlbear? No.
Oh, that doesn't come till later. That's high level.
Yeah.
That's high level druid.
Guess what her go-to animal
Cat.
is? No, she's a badger.
Oh,
Loves being a big badger.
didn't even know you could be a badger.
She likes digging.
I didn't know you could dig.
Yeah, so she's a big badger.
That
That's
was the
fun.
easiest guess of my life.
Yeah.
And don't tell me you are playing a. If you already have a druid, are you a barbarian? No, you don't. You don't give me barbarian. You're like a fucking. I want to say you're a cleric, but you wouldn't need a cleric if you already have a druid. And there's also fucking Silverthorn or whatever her name is, and she's a fucking fantastic.
Oh, Shadowheart.
Shadowheart, and I'm assuming you're doing a 2-person playthrough.
Yeah.
You have a Starion. There's no way you would play.
I do have a Starion.
Yeah, there's no way you would play a fucking rogue. And so if you have a Starion and you have Shadowheart,
I don't have Shadowheart.
you don't have Shadowheart. All right, Karlach? Do you have Karlach?
No.
You're not using Karlach, but you are using a Starion.
Well, I'm using a Starion. Sarah is really attracted to Will.
Okay.
So she has Will.
Okay. Wait. Are you playing as a Starion or no?
He's on my team.
Okay. So Will is a fucking.
Warlock.
He's a warlock.
Yeah.
So you have a warlock, a rogue, and a druid.
Yeah.
So you are a barbarian.
No.
What are you?
I'm a paladin.
Okay, that makes sense.
I'm not liking it though.
Well, paladin's fucking stupid.
They're kind of boring.
They're boring as shit.
I like the idea of a paladin, but they don't do a lot of things.
They don't. They're good against like undead.
Yeah.
But then again, so are clerics.
I was a monk in my first playthrough, which
fun.
was pretty cool.
You get like 14 hits.
Yeah, I don't like that they can't wear armor,
Yeah.
and they're supposed to be unhanded or unarmed. So that was a little boring.
Oh yeah, you punch.
Yeah, you punch. And I was like, I want loot.
Well, like armor loot.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's fair. That's true. You really don't equip much as a fucking monk.
So I don't know. I may reclass. I'll see. I really like the idea of being
Be a war god cleric.
A war god
Yeah.
cleric.
So being a cleric, you get to choose what
Right,
god you worship to. If you choose a war god cleric, you can it's basically like being a paladin, but you don't have to worry about oath breaking.
Yeah, I oath broke almost immediately. It's because you don't know what's gonna break your oath.
Yep.
I was trying to get fucking Lysel out of a cage, and they're like, you can't be doing that. I'm like, why? I'm the fucking oath of vengeance. Like,
Paladins, it's a fucking like, I want to play a magic. I want to play in a magical world, but like with more rules than I would ever inflict upon myself than I could ever imagine.
Yeah, so I'm an oath broken paladin right now. I may switch to either like archer, like ranger.
Classic.
They're pretty cool. I like them.
I knew you were gonna do a ranger, but I was like, that just wouldn't be advantageous in that build.
Animal companion.
You already have a druid. You don't need a fucking animal companion.
That's true. I like summoners, and I think clerics get that.
Do a war god cleric.
Yeah, maybe I'll do a cleric or like something. But I'm thinking right now like
war god
ranger.
cleric gets heavy armor. You're tanky. You can heal yourself. You're incredible against undead. It's all the best parts.
Yeah, I'll see. I'll figure it out. But anyway, it's been fun. It's the only game Sarah and I have managed to enjoy playing together. And yeah, so that's been cool.
God damn. If Dorothy got on Baldur's Gate 3, that'd be huge for me.
See if she will.
Let's do a double date through Baldur's Gate.
Girls love creating a character. They love picking Vulva B. That's her favorite Vulva. And
I forgot that you could choose your pussy.
Yeah. Anyway.
Wild. Yes, and I'm assuming Vulva B is in any. Every girl wants an any.
In any vulva?
In any vulva.
I got it's just the one with the hair.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow, how incredibly feminist of her.
She's a druid.
My best boy is the LA firefighters.
Damn it.
Shout out.
Damn it.
Shout out to all the brave men and women. Yeah, listen, you're a first responder to this mic fucking flopping over. Shout out to all the brave women and men fighting on the front lines of the LA fires.
And prisoners.
And prisoners?
Yeah.
Oh, well, shout out to them.
You didn't hear about that?
But they're also men and women.
It's
so,
like 30% of the LAPD right now, like fighting.
FD.
LAFD fighting the fires are incarcerated people.
Wild.
Yeah.
Absolutely
Getting
wild.
paid $5 to $10 a day.
Yeah, that's slavery.
Yeah, it's slavery.
Slavery.
So shout out to the slaves.
Yeah, well, hey.
Fighting the fires.
Thanks for helping.
Yeah.
That's very nice of you.
But
okay, but my house is on fire isn't on fire because of it. Do you have any flashback news?
the voice actor who plays Master Roshi just had life-saving
emergency heart surgery, eh?
brain surgery.
Brain surgery. Gotcha.
Yeah. So he's recovering right now, which is good. But yeah, voice actor Master Roshi, anime voice acting director. He directed Chainsaw Man's anime. He directed, not like directed it, but he did the voice acting direction of Chainsaw Man, Attack on Titan. Yeah, so he's recovering, which is good.
And my news is that Nocturne drops on the 16th, which is Thursday of this week. So,
let's go. I had no idea.
Go ahead and watch Nocturne on Netflix. All right, that brings us to our favorite part of the episode, where me and Danny poll our live audience to ask us a question that we answer here live on the podcast. So if you've ever wanted to get the podcast 2 days early, watch me and Danny live and get to ask us a question that we answer here on the podcast. You can become a member over on Patreon for $5 a month. You also get 2 additional hours of Nick and Danny content a month. And while we are 2 behind on our Scooby-Doo movies, we're not going to be filming one today because Nick is sick and also Danny is displaced. So You'll have to give us a little bit of slack on that one. I'm gonna go pee. You.
Also, yeah, did you see the Arcane? So there was a trailer that came out. I guess I'll talk to the podcast and Stan can keep this in. A trailer. I wonder who can hear Nick pissing, because boy is Nick a loud pisser. Anyway, Arcane. Well, not Arcane. League of Legends. Just dropped a new season. Every couple of months, the video game has a season. And they released a trailer, as they always do, but it's in the art style of Arcane, and it's a Welcome to Noxus trailer. And you get to see LeBlanc, Elise, Vladimir, all in the Arcane style. A lot of people were like, oh, this is a tease for the new Noxus show. Unfortunately, Riot has said that it's not. But it's iffy, because it's not a tease in the sense that, they're like, oh, this is what the new show is about, this and that. But it is a tease in that, here are the characters in that art style. And at the very end, you get to see Mel in a little interaction. Oh, Trundle's in it, Darius. So it's very cool. The artists are just phenomenal. The art style is just banging. Yeah, let's get some Q&As.
Naleko asks, if you had to build a Creature Commandos team out of 5 creatures from anime, who would they be and why?
I'm struggling to think of a single anime creature, but you have 5. I know the second you start rattling them off, I'm going to be like, oh, fuck, it's this and that. You go.
I got a great list here.
All right,
a fantastic list.
Let's see.
All right, coming up number 1, the captain of our team, Nina Tucker.
I knew it'd be Nina Tucker.
Nina Tucker.
I knew it.
Get that chimera in the game, dude. First off, you gotta have somebody who's capable of speech. She's kind of capable of it.
She's barely sentient.
It doesn't matter. A lot of the people on this list are barely sentient.
All right.
Up next, Kisame from Naruto.
Kisame,
Shark Guy.
Shark Guy?
Yep.
That's not more intelligent than Nina Tucker?
I don't know. He eats himself alive. Nina Tucker didn't eat herself alive. She had to get shocked to death by Scar.
Right.
You know, so at least I don't need a depressed leader to my Creature Commando team.
What, just a depressing one.
Yep. Up next after that, there's the Fox captain from Bleach, Kumamura.
Of course.
You know, he was a guy.
Yeah.
Actually, no, he started as a fox, then he got turned into like a fox guy. After that, Cone from Bleach.
Of course.
He's just like a little stuffed animal. I also would have accepted Turbo Granny to replace Cone.
Turbo Granny's not bad.
If you want to go old school, new school, Turbo Granny's great there. Cone's great
I take
there.
Mantis Shrimp.
Mantis Shrimp is another one.
Yeah.
That's another great one. And then last one, Karoo, the bird that Princess Vivi flies around on in Alabasta. Because you need a pack mule. You need a non-sentient pack mule, right? You need a weasel.
Karoo's got, out of all the One Piece characters, not Jimbei? Not Mr. Skelling?
Two fish people?
Mr. Skellington?
That's... Brooke would have been a great answer there.
I'd sub out,
But Brooke's a human.
It's Skellington.
He's a bone. He's a bone human, but he's a human.
Yeah, Dr. Phosphorus is a human on fire.
That's fair.
I'd sub out Karoo for Skellington, and I'd sub out Nina Tucker for Legoshi.
Oh, Legoshi's got the fucking hands on him, dog.
Or Panda.
But he's just an animal. But then
Any
so is
panda,
Weasel.
really.
Yeah, and just a panda. Yeah.
Well, like JJK.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
He's a cursed corpse.
Yeah.
Fucking panda from JJK is also a great answer. All right, now that you've had a second to think about it, do you want to give us your top 5?
Give me Panda from JJK.
Okay.
Give me Panda from B-Stars.
Okay, good. Yikes, that's where the panda list runs out.
Damn it.
Yep.
Damn it.
I can't think of another panda.
All right.
Don't scan my statues.
Scanning.
Pandas like there's
Give me Piccolo.
pretty good.
Probably the leader.
Big time leadership material. Piccolo is.
Yeah, Piccolo's a leader where he belongs.
How do you feel about Pokemon on this list?
That's
Is that a little too on the nose?
Give me Lucario.
So you got to go bipedal.
Yeah, you got to go bipedal.
Bipedalism is what you're telling me.
Yeah. I take Lucario, no Legoshi anymore.
Mm-hmm.
For my 5th, I'm going to scan.
Okay. Scan away.
Give me Alphonse.
Alphonse
Elric.
He's a ghost.
Yeah.
That's a great 5.
He's a ghost is a crazy take on Alphonse.
Is he not? Alphonse Elric at the end of the day is a poltergeist. Like,
Is Alphonse a ghost, yes or no?
Yeah, he's a poltergeist who is haunting a suit of armor.
Yeah, that's true. I like that. Can I do one other good podcasty this or that?
Okay.
I saw from the podcast Jammo and Dylan.
Okay.
They were saying you get $5 million, but if someone says a specific word, you explode.
Oh.
Would you take it? You get to pick the word.
100%.
100%.
100%.
They were both like, no, because, you'd be living in fear. No one?
I have to hear them say the word, right?
It's within 200 meters.
200 meters, somebody has to say the word.
So pretty wide distance.
Absolutely.
I promise you, no one in this century is ever saying the word lugubrious except for me. It means sad.
Okay. That's a great choice. Me, I'm just choosing the chemical name of some ridiculously long compound. I'm like tetrahydrid, formaldehyde, blah, 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 blah.
What if someone comes down with that?
But it's a compound. Like I'm
Right.
saying we're doing trihydrogen, formaldehyde, methane.
Has to be one word.
All right,
I'm just saying.
the name of the alchemical name of a compound. I'm
Right.
just choosing that.
Gotcha.
And if I can't do that, I'm just choosing choose a word like a fucking dead language.
Yeah.
Choose something that I'm trying to think of dead languages because Latin people
Latin?
talk, but people say Latin occasionally. But I'm saying
French?
I'm giving me fucking Assyrian.
Yeah.
I'm choosing an Assyrian word.
Yeah,
Something
yeah.
did you say French? You say fucking French? Yeah, that's fair. I tend to avoid French people.
Yeah.
Point blank. Period.
Dude, if you just stay in America, you're never hearing French.
no.
Stay away from schools.
Nah, stay away
which
from
you
New
already
England.
have to.
Stay away from New England.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're a fucking.
You got to be quicker.
You're a real son of a bitch.
You're letting me get away with shit.
I'm sick, and you know that. You're taking advantage of me.
Yeah.
But all right, that's all we got, ladies and gentlemen. I appreciate you guys being here so much. We are going to be seeing you guys next week at a standard time. We're not entirely sure what the standard time is right now. We really adjust the posting of the podcast to be as close to like our key events. Soul Leveling comes out on Saturdays. So actually, I mean, we just keep doing our same time here. So probably see you here next Tuesday. We appreciate all the kind wishes and warm notes that you guys have sent us. Me and Danny are doing okay. We're doing fine. Just redirect that energy to everybody else in LA who has been severely more affected than us.
Yeah. We were talking about it. It's really good to hear a lot of places aren't accepting donations anymore because a lot of people are donating, which is awesome. Everywhere is accepting money, obviously.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you feel so inclined, reach out to some donation spots and send some money. I think at some point I'll probably do like a donation stream.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Cool. All right. We love you guys. Bye. Mwah.
Bye.